gun screaming like a siren at night. Red and blue shouting, nobody's right. Smoke in the streets, truth under attack. Everybody's loud, nobody's got facts. Feeds keep scrolling, nerves stay tight. Matchsticks flicked in the dead of night. They sell fear, cheap package the lies, while the clock keeps ticking, empires on fire. Can't sit quiet while the world's on edge. Lines in the sand, standing on the ledge. No script, no leash, no polish, quiet. Just a voice in the dark and a spark to the wire. This is and I bring the fire. Gonna light it higher. No filter, no fear, I say it raw. Strike the match, let it burn through the fog. This is and I bring the fire. And I bring the fire. Everybody's selling truth like a brand, buying opinions they don't understand. Talking in circles, screaming online. Keyboard courage, borrowed spines. Yeah, power plays dressed up as peace. Same old wolves with different teeth. But silence is loud when the house is burning. And the fuse is short, yeah, it's still learning. I don't dance for the left or the right. I stand in the heat, I stand in the fight. No strings, no chains, no manufactured choir. Just gasoline thoughts and an open lighter. This is and I bring the fire. Gonna light it higher. No filter, no fear, I say it raw. Strike the match, let it burn through the fog. This is and I bring the fire. And I bring the fire. World's on tilt, pressure climbing. Truth don't whisper, it's perfect timing. You can't cancel the smoke, you can't stop flame. Say my name when it hits, say my name. Why? Say my name. Say my name. Fire don't ask permission. Fire don't need a side. Fire just shows up honest and exposes the lie. This is and I bring the fire. Truth is harder. Burn it down till what's real survives. No smoke, no mirrors, just heat and lies. And I bring the fire. And I bring the fire. America, fire. Strike it. Let it speak.
What's up, everybody? Happy hump day. We made it. We're almost halfway through the week. Woo! Can you handle it? Although this is kind of my Friday since I'm heading to Texas tonight. But don't worry, folks. I'm working on the way to stream Trump's speech tomorrow so I can give commentary as well, because it's going to be epic. Speaking of epic, it is, whoo! Is it any coincidence Trump is speaking tomorrow on election fraud right as the House is attaching the SAVE Act to the Defense Authorization Act? Well, also, we got Blanche Clayton on hearings right now being positioned for the mass run-up on fraud, on corruption, all the stuff in here. Blanche killing it. So, wow, we got a lot to talk about. Oh, also a whole slew of polls dropped. And guess what? Republicans gaining everywhere. Trump's approval surging up. What is happening? Oh, it's almost like everything I said was going to happen is going to happen. Not to toot my own horn, but the point is, guys, it's obvious when you pay attention and don't listen to the liars, the lying liars and their narratives. When you actually look at data and understand history, and trust Trump, this is exactly what we expected to happen. So it's coming together. We got a whole grifter report for you, plus the updates in Iran. Lots to talk about today, folks. So don't hit that dial, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hunker in. We got a big show today. All right. Let me say hey to some of the peeps. We'll start on the rums. We got Chrissy Katz, Pixel Snap, AZ Tropic, Maui Jimbo, Christy Myers, and let's see, Chrissy Katz holding it down over there on the rums. Welcome, guys. Thanks for watching. Here on the tubes, we have a whole bunch of people ready to go. We got Nick Majors, Rafe, Cass Sink, Pat M, Jim Atkin, Tammy Anderson, Henry Perez, Eric Brumbog, Cass Sink, Genghis Khan, Genghis Khan, what a name. Brucey Sky, what is that? I like it. Taya Dye, Toe Cramp, Donna M, Saved by Grace, Rockstar Steve, One of the Many Lamps, Grace, Threads, Overclock, Doc No, Sebastian Chose, Dad Bod Todd, Bobby Girl, Linda Telly, Gen X Maga, Kika, Cloaked Patriot, Michael Boyle, please don't laugh. Okay, I'll try not to. Funny Guy. It's funny that Please Don't Laugh is followed by Funny Guy. Oh, I already did it. I screwed up. Mad Clouds, William Magdalene, Kevin Tweedy, Scott Vukovich, Shunny Danielson, Alice Ford M, and many, many more. Sorry I can't get to all you guys, but just know you're all appreciated. I just don't got the time. People want the news. People want to hear what's happening in the world. So I'm going to do my best to get to it. I did see a question or comment I wanted to address here. Where was it? Jen says, listen to my old Gen X music. Remind me of how truly old I am. No more head banging. Still got the long hair, but not the bounce. I tell you what, I got the head banging, but I can't. The neck hurts too much now. If you're going to headbang, the neck just, it can't do it. It can't do it anymore. It stays sore for weeks. So you can't go with the headbanging once you pass a certain age. I don't know what that age is. I don't know if it's 34, 38, 40, but at some point the headbanging's got to go, and you can still always do this, So yeah, if you notice the green screen's back, working on it, getting my lighting, all that fun stuff, and showing up in HD. All right, guys, so much to get to. As always, get into the chat, have your conversations. This is the best community on YouTube. Talk with people, converse, question me, contact me, ask me questions. But please, if you're going to do so, tag me and be respectful. If you're not respectful, honorable. If you are a troll, you will get booted. We got the mods ready to go, including the Samurai Shogun DEI hire mod, who is quick to slash with his account level samurai sword, knocking them out. And then, of course, if you want to support the channel, you can always send a super chat, which is guaranteed to be read, or questions answered. And also there's a membership where, guess what, you get 24/7 access to Discord with the best community on YouTube, as well as members only live shows. Okay, thank you for your attention to this matter. Shall we get started? All right, thank you guys. Thanks for all the kind words. Lots of people excited today. I love it. And you should be, because those of us who've been paying attention, who've been waiting for a lot of good things to happen, well, guess what, guys? We are very close. That's not the right window. There it is. Okay. Whew, tomorrow. I'm so excited about tomorrow. This is one of those aspects, like one of those times where you wish you could shoot into the future. I don't want to wait. I cannot wait for this speech. I really hope it's not disappointing, but based on what Trump's saying, I don't think it will be. So, as of the, what was it? Monday. As of Monday, Trump announced that he is going to address the nation Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and it sounds like it's going to be spicy, especially for those of us who've been waiting for election fraud to be exposed, who don't trust our elections further than we can throw them, who don't believe that you can get 300,000 votes in a row in the middle of the night to sway an election, who don't believe that you should be able to count votes for 40 days after an election. Excuse me, California. Yeah, that for those of us who don't like that, who think our election should be done in one day, in person, and fair and with ID. Yeah, for those of us, this could be a very big day. Here's Trump talking about what might be coming.
machines and integrity. Can you give us sort of a sneak peek about what to expect and tell the
Well,
audience
I'd rather
in
save
America?
it. It will concern that subject, and we'll have a couple of other things to
Why
say
should people
also.
watch, though?
But I'd rather save it, but it's really big news. It's really, really big news. And our country has to shape up. But that's what we're going to be talking about Thursday is it doesn't get bigger, because without free and fair elections, you don't have a country. We'll be discussing other things too, but it's going to be a very big announcement. Yeah.
It doesn't get bigger. Interesting this is happening as Bill Pulte came in. I believe, because right now, as I speak, Clayton is in the hearings to be confirmed for ODNI. So Bill Pulte's time is coming to an end before much longer. They're going to push through Clayton, but Pulte's already done his job. He's had 3 rounds of firings, which Trump happily endorsed, breaking it all up. And then, Tulsi Gabbard left us with a couple things before she left, but she did not drop the bomb on the election. Why? I don't know. Maybe it was a little too hot. Maybe Trump, maybe he wanted to wait for the right timing and Tulsi was leaving ahead of time. We don't know. But what we do know is that Pulte is now in there. He's brought all the stuff up. Trump gave him full authority to declassify everything. And now we're getting the speech tomorrow night, and apparently they're bringing the receipts. As Benny Johnson is reporting, there's a lot of FBI agents suddenly in Fulton County. Let's watch a little bit of what Benny had to say.
But to say that there's no election fraud is, of course, insane and robs robs your sense, robs even the most rational people that have tried to argue against this have been left in ashes. The Democrats have flipped their narrative. Okay, so so here are the people, like the biggest corporate media entities in America used to run headlines that said there's no provable election fraud. Now, all of those headlines, all of them, have shifted to there's no mass election fraud. Every single one. NBC just did this. We've caught CBS doing this. ABC did this. The View, ladies, we're talking about like no one's proven mass election fraud, just a little bit of election fraud. The teeny.
He's absolutely right. It's all about the narrative. And this is probably, it's already being reported. A lot of these media sites, CNN, CNBC, MS Now, maybe even Fox, aren't going to play the speech. Well, why? Oh, they're saying because if Trump brings this, they could be sued. They could be sued for lies over election. Well, first of all, if they could be sued, that is private entities doing the stopping of First Amendment right of free speech and free press, not our government. That's interesting. It's the intimidation tends to work. But the other thing is that maybe it's all a facade, as I think it's a charade where they are lying to us. They just don't want to get the word out there. They're scared Trump's actually going to bring it now. That, my friends, is where we're at. And as Benny reports, and it's a long segment, so I'm not going to play it all, but so far 300 FBI agents have surged into Fulton County. Tulsi Gabbard was on the ground during the early days of the investigation. Back in the early part of this year, investigators have been told to prepare for major arrest by July 17th. What? That's Friday. Now we learn President Trump's about to make a major announcement on Thursday. Georgia went from solid red to having 2 Democratic senators who both won by suspiciously tight margins. Are we about to find out they're both illegitimate? There's going to be doomsday for the Democrats, maybe. We can hope. Or how about just doomsday for the deep state in general? Because, if they can't steal elections anymore, everything changes. Everything changes. As Seth Keshel writes, this is huge news and it'll destroy 6 years of narrative spun by liars in the media and government. Absolutely. See, the 2020, by the way, more people believe 2020 was stolen today than believed it in 2021, right after the election. That's how effective the messaging is. That's how convincing the evidence is. This could be a big problem for them. If Trump brings the receipts, watch out. As Truthhammer writes here, Trump publicly reveals clear evidence of international interference in 20 elections, as we think may happen on Thursday. By the way, why would it be international interference? Oh, maybe City of London, globalists. Remember, it's the Five Eyes who were busted. Five Eyes being UK, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia, the Commonwealth, along with USA. It's the Five Eyes who put together the Steele dossier, who did the Russia hoax. That's the globalists. That's the City of London, folks. Is this why it's going to be the international proof? As we think may happen on Thursday, there'll be nothing anyone can do to stop him from declaring a national emergency and using extraordinary powers to secure our 26 elections. This is why the media and even Obama strategists are losing their shit and making public statements to discredit what he hasn't even shown yet. And the hugely successful shaping operation known as the Save America Act is already in place. I think it have two purposes: for all to see overwhelming public support for election security even before Thursday and whatever executive action is coming. Overton window already wide open and prepped. We know stuff's coming. Here is, remember, Spencer Pratt just met with Trump. Well, here's Spencer Pratt's, the film director helping the Pratt campaign, talking about the election fraud in California.
But there's this like dramatic moment, and we see this like hidden camera, and the music cuts off, and it's like the guy holding the box, and he's got the gloves on, and we see these ballots. Okay, and I'm like, oh, is this like real? Do we have something here? I mean, is that just dramatic effect? Or because the other thing that's like implied or sort of hinted at in the messaging is there is an investigation. There is something happening, and maybe the feds are involved. Again, if you can't talk about it, so be it. But I do wonder, is this just for right now a PR campaign to generate the political interest that could lead to an investigation? Or is there something actually happening right now?
There's going to be arrests. So part of the problem is, all right, let's say we catch someone.
First of all, did you hear how matter of fact he said that? Again, I'm going to replay that real quick.
Investigation, or is there something actually happening right now?
There's going to be arrests.
There's going to be
so part of the problem is, all right, let's say we catch someone. One of the most challenging things is California, or at least in LA County, they separate the ballot from the envelope. And so the only identifying information for a voter is on the envelope. It's not on the ballot. And once you separate the two, that ballot is completely anonymized. So tracing it back to any unscrupulous behavior is literally impossible. So once you separate the ballot from the envelope, you would never be able to, let's say you catch somebody had a box of 50,000 ballots and they cast them for Nithya Raman. Well, how do you know which votes for Nithya Raman were tied back to that box? Well, you can't, because they separated it. So here's the issue. People are going to get arrested, and they're going to get arrested for voter fraud and for scamming. But the candidates will just be able to say, well, that's just an individual. I didn't direct them to do that. So, I mean, I have to imagine that they're smart enough to not put instructions in writing. And, the way that the communists operate nowadays, they kind of just put up the bat signal. And they know that their street animals will do the necessary work. Right. They did that with Charlie Kirk. They called him a fascist, and that's the bat signal. It's like, go kill this guy. And they didn't need to direct anyone explicitly to go and do it. But that filthy commie street animal knows, oh, okay, this is my duty now.
Filthy commie street animal. I love the fact we can call them out now, and everybody gets it. It's just I want to thank Mom Donnie and every person, the DSA, to just expose themselves full on communists, and then thank Spencer Pratt and everybody working with him along with President Trump for telling everybody who it is now, for making it all work. And it just makes me very, very happy to see this. And you can tell they're panicking. I mean, here is David Axelrod, former advisor to Trump, massive part of his campaign, how he got elected both times. And he says, if POTUS really trots out Pulte, Patel, and a crew of political apparatchiks posing as intel experts on Thursday night to announce they've uncovered evidence of foul play in 2020, it'll only heighten fears. He'll claim an emergency down the line and claim extraordinary Fed. It'll only heighten fears. Oh, are you telling us that you know exactly what's going to happen? Oh man, these people, they are so flippin' scared. It's delicious. I want to drink their tears, drink their fears. If so, and there are plenty other signs of manipulation brewing, the most important battle of the midterms may be in the courts. Oh, really? In the courts? Really? You think so? Of course, it'll be in the courts if Trump does it through executive order. But good luck getting it through the courts if Congress passes a SAVE Act. And this is going to put pressure on Congress to do that. It's going to push it through. Very close. I mean, what the House is doing right now is very smart in how they're approaching this. Now, this is what we're looking at could be exposed. Keschel writes, again, I don't know that POTUS is going to dig into Georgia or not, but this is exactly what happens when a state increases mail-in voting by 630% one cycle. Trump had the largest single cycle vote jump for GOP since 2000 to 2004 jump for Bush. A gain for Biden as large as Obama's jump from 04 to 08 would have landed him at 1.3.5 million or 106,000 shy of where Trump wound up. Republican nominees, Trump included, had been stuck in almost the same exact vote count 3 cycles in a row without trouble winning Georgia. Then he got a huge gain only to lose by 11,800. No one bought it then. No one buys it now. Georgia is one of the most obvious manipulations of election that's ever happened in this country. Insane stuff. So this is coming, guys. And one way or the other, it's believed that Trump is going to expose this, might undo Warnock's election, might undo Ossoff's election. We might get 2 new Republican senators in a special election because of this. There's a lot to unpack here. If they can prove Georgia was stolen, and I believe they need one other state to flip the 2020 election, but this is how it's going to be done. It's going to be state by state. That's how you have to prove it to undo 2020 and invalidate the entire Biden presidency. This is going to be massive. Trump pulls it off. The worst case scenario, if we're able to just fully expose one state, is what it'll do. It'll still put enough doubt in people's minds that it will force Republicans to have to pass the SAVE Act to push that through, Save America Act, and it will give Trump what he needs to justify cracking down on this election. Just like Axelrod said in his fear, claim an emergency down the line. Yeah, that's what you need to do. If you prove the elections are stolen, you have the data, you declassify it, big problems. But this isn't the only big problem Democrats have right now. It's the one they're most afraid of, but there's a whole lot more starting to get exposed, including the inimitable Jack Smith, the guy who Biden sent out under Merrick Garland to take Trump down. This is a big deal. As his testimony is now being exposed as fraud, and what he did is much worse than we were told. So Catherine Herridge reports under 18 U.S.C. 1001, it's a felony to knowingly and willingly make false statements, conceal facts, or submit fraudulent documents to the U.S. government. Rand Paul writes, I've transcribed the exchange with Jack Smith for clarity and accountability. The toll records you request from senators. Do they include the content of the phone calls? No, said Jack Smith. The records you requested, the toll records from members of contest, does this include the content of text messages? And again, he replies, no. The problem is we now know he had the text messages of 44 members of Congress. Chuck Grassley reported yesterday, who has been leading this investigation of Operation Arctic Frost. I received records from DOJ confirming Jack Smith's investigative team reviewed the contents of text messages sent by 44 members of Congress, and he's one of them. This is what's going to piss him off the most, is that they were part of it. I'm alerting my colleagues who are impacted and will release the records with Senator Johnson so American people can see the evidence. The context, previously released Arctic Frost records revealed a subpoena tracker identifying nearly 100 conservative groups, including Charlie Kirk and TPUSA. Oh, but I thought it was the Jews who took out Charlie. I thought it was only the Jews who were afraid of Charlie. Sorry, Candace Owens, it's fallen apart quickly. The evidence is very clear. The Biden administration was terrified of Charlie Kirk, TPUSA, and anything MAGA adjacent. They knew this was going to be a big, big problem for them, and now it's all coming out. Catherine Herridge reports, Justice Department records released by Chuck Grassley and Ron Johnson indicate special counsel Jack Smith's team improperly accessed the texts of 44 current and former lawmakers, mostly senior GOP. A couple Democrats. I wonder why. Investigators bypassed required filter team review process, violating investigative protocols and potentially infringing on constitutional guardrails. Oh, yeah. And then he lied about it under oath. Not looking good for him. Josh Hawley was one of them. Says Joe Biden's DOJ not only tapped my phone, I just learned they illegally obtained my texts with members of Trump's administration. They were trying to do everything they could to take Trump down illegally. Everyone involved needs to be prosecuted. This could unwind the entire Biden Justice Department. Big, big flipping deal. Jack Smith is the guy behind it all. They stuck on him like a bulldog, like a pit bull trying to take down Trump. And now we're finding out he lied about it all. It's only going to keep coming out. Guys, we are in the beginning of the exposure. Yes, there's already been exposure. Don't get me wrong. We've seen some stuff. But the exposure that leads to arrests is starting right now. And get ready. And that's no coincidence that today is the day they're pushing Todd Blanche through a confirmation hearing so he can be official. Donald J. Trump wrote yesterday, Todd Blanche is doing a phenomenal job as acting Attorney General of the United States. Under Todd's incredible leadership, murder is down to the lowest level since 1900, and we just saw the biggest one-year drop in recorded history. Violent crime arrests are up 100%. Robberies, carjackings, assaults are all crashing. More than 500 million deadly doses of drugs have already been seized, saving countless innocent lives. This is what happens when you unleash law and order on our streets. Instead of protecting vicious criminal thugs and releasing dangerous illegal aliens into our communities like the Democrats did for 4 disastrous years under Sleepy Joe Biden. Todd has fought hard for religious liberty, ended the weaponization of our justice system, protected free speech, kept men out of women's sports, strengthened election integrity, and gone to all-out war against fraud like nobody in the history of the DOJ. That's an interesting phrase right there. Gone to war against all-out war against fraud like nobody in the history of the DOJ. Wow. He is tough, brilliant, 100% loyal to our Constitution and American people. When the corrupt Biden and Justice Department radical left prosecutors tried to throw me in jail, there it is, that's Jack Smith, and interfered in our historic 24 presidential campaign, Todd stood by my side and fought off the lawfare. He's a great lawyer, fair. Every Republican senator should vote for him. Oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And what's we found, remember the giant psyop going after Todd Blanche when he was first put in? Goes, he's a Democrat. You can't trust him. You can't trust Todd Blanche. No, man, he guilt by association, Whitney Webb. That's what they do, man. That's what they always do. Guilt by association when they know it's going to be trouble. And here's Blanche talking about what they've done so far since he's taken over DOJ.
It's incredible since COVID, the absolute thievery that's happened from the FISC by people in this country. And so we have focused tremendous amount of efforts, not only in the new division, but at every U.S. Attorney's office, with every Inspector General and their offices, the FBI, DHS, and HSI, to just root out this fraud. You have examples of individuals just stealing. So setting up entire centers for autism when there are no patients, when there is no center, and taking millions of dollars of hard-earned taxpayers' money. And so we are very focused on that. We've already, like I said earlier, billions and billions we've already collected in just the past couple of months. That effort is going to go forward for as long as I am in the position that I'm in now, no matter whether I'm confirmed or not. And it's extraordinarily important to every American that this doesn't happen, because we're not talking about whether someone agrees or disagrees with a policy. It's just outright theft by individuals, and unfortunately, many state governments, if they didn't absolutely know what was happening and just encourage it, they certainly stood idly by while it was happening, which is also a problem.
The crackdown has not yet begun, friends. It's not yet begun. Remember, he hasn't even been official yet. Speaking of crackdowns, here's a little narrative breaking for the Epstein files.
For 4 years, there wasn't a peep about Jeffrey Epstein. The Biden administration did nothing to be transparent about the Epstein case. We have been extraordinarily transparent in not only producing the records, but letting unredacted versions be available to anybody in this body. And if, after reviewing unredacted materials, a member had concerns about why something was redacted, they brought them to the department's attention, and we addressed that. So I want to make sure the American people know that this administration, when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, has been more transparent than any past administration, than Biden was or anybody else. And what we did is we complied with the law. And if we learn a new material, we will most certainly review it and make it available. When it comes to the victims of this horrible man, we will never not talk to victims. We will never not do everything we can to prosecute anybody that committed any crimes against any of these women. So that narrative is false. We have spoken with over 30 representatives of dozens and dozens of victims since this process started. Any victim, if they're here today, I would encourage them or their lawyers to meet with the FBI. We will 100% investigate. There are no closed investigations. If we learn today, if we learn next week, if we learn next month that there's an individual that we can investigate, indict, and prosecute out of the Epstein files, you better believe it, we will. And so we worked hard, the hardworking lawyers within the department to do the right thing to comply with the act, and we did, and we'll continue to do so. Sure.
Huh. That's a little bit different than what we've been told, isn't it? This is under oath. This is the guy trying to be attorney general, making it clear. If you have anything on Epstein, come forward now. Hey, Thomas Massey. Hey, Ro Khanna. What about all those victims you got on your payroll working with you that Reid Hoffman's producing commercials with? What about them? Are they going to come forward? It's clear you can do so. He just put it out publicly. Melania Trump did it 2 months ago publicly. Come forward. Where are they? Oh, we don't want to talk. We already talked. Well, not to these people. Wouldn't you want justice? Isn't that what we were told is going to happen? Didn't Massey say he's going to name names by now? Why is none of that happening? Fascinating. It's almost like you can trust the Trump administration. It's almost like they're the ones doing what they're saying they're doing. And everybody else is just running psyops. Because in the past, you couldn't trust the government. You couldn't trust anybody in charge. And so, yeah, it made sense. But guess what? Before, when the government was hiding stuff, you always had receipts. These people calling out the Trump administration now, they don't got no receipts. This guy's testifying under oath, putting it out there for the world to hear. Come forward. Well, now you want to really crack up the pressure on them? If they're really hiding stuff, this is the time to do it. Come out. Say it. This does not look like somebody who's waiting on who's holding anything back. Let me put it that way. It definitely seems like Todd Blanche knows what he's talking about. Well, here's a little more of what's been going on that they don't want you to hear about, that the DOJ is actually accomplishing.
The FBI has arrested 2,900 child predators and human traffickers, a 70% increase from 2024, and located more than 6,940 child victims. The U.S. Marshals have recovered more than 1,182 missing children. That doesn't sound like failure to me. In contrast, the Biden administration diverted prosecutors from child sex crime cases on January 6 cases. That is unbelievable. The FBI has arrested.
Do you hear that? The Biden admin was shifting everybody away from the child sex cases. Oh, oh my God. Guys, the Obama, I mean, we've had lots of bad administrations. It's been way worse than good the last 100 years. But it never got worse than Obama and then Biden. They were actively allowing sex trafficking of children and encouraging it by diverting resources away from it. Unbelievable stuff. And the Trump administration has done more to stop it than any other administration in history. That's not hyperbole. That's just facts. And they're called the Epstein class. Wow. But it's amazing what exposure does, isn't it? Isn't it amazing what exposure does? Good news is, guys, Blanche should sail through.
I've read your resume. We all have. You don't need to comment on this, but it just seems to me that no fair-minded person could conclude that you're not qualified. You spent a long time with the department. You spent a long time in private practice. So the opposition of my Democratic friends must be based on something else. I've read.
Blanche is going to get through, which is very good. Very good. He's going to be a killer. And I believe he's going to be the one that's there the next 3 years. I continue to believe Bondi got in. Her job was administrative. It was clear she wasn't good in front of the cameras. It was clear she made a lot of gaffes. But I believe fully, Blanche came in as the former lawyer to President Trump, protected him from Jack Smith, protected him from the Biden pit bulls, and he got him off. But when Trump first came in, do you really think Blanche would have been able to get through as Attorney General, being that he was that close to Trump? No way. There's no way he would have been approved. Most of Trump's appointments were approved by razor-thin margins. So there's no way Blanche would have gotten in. So what did Trump do? It's genius. The more we look at it, the more genius it is. He puts Bondi in, who he has a relationship with in Florida. He says, clean up the DOJ. Fire all the bad people, rehire good ones, restaff it. She does it. And in just over a year, she says, the job's done. Trump lets her go. And then Blanche comes in, and now Trump can appoint an acting AG to fill it and gives Blanche time to prove himself, not for Trump. I think Trump knew all along, but for the Senate. And now they can't deny how effective he's been. Here are some of the facts. Under Trump, DOJ has prosecuted 45,000 more individuals with 1,000 fewer prosecutors than the Biden DOJ. Whoa. Between January 20th and 2021 and June 9th, 2022, the Biden DOJ persecuted 108,000 individuals. Between January 20th and June 9th, this DOJ prosecuted 153,000 individuals. Holy smokes, guys. That's a lot of arrests. Our government is cleaning up. It's cleaning up. This is why the whole no arrests have happened thing is a total psyop. It's a psyop because they want you focused on big names that make everybody feel good with a shot of adrenaline, a little dopamine hit. Yeah, they got Bill Gates. Yeah. Okay, cool. But does that matter as much as this number? Bill Gates is one man. Now, eventually, hopefully we build up to that. I want that. Of course, we should all want the big criminals to go down. But you clean up the ground first. That's happening right now. Oh, and by the way, in these numbers right here, thousands of people at January 6th who are innocent, people praying at abortion clinics. Yeah, that's who they were prosecuting. Now, Jay Clayton happens to be going through at the same time. This is interesting because we haven't heard much on this. Remember, Trump put Jay Clayton off to the side to give Pulte a few weeks. Well, now with Pulte firing 3 rounds of firing, massively slicing down our national intelligence agencies, getting rid of about bad actors. The Supreme Court case found that Trump could slaughter the deep state. Literally, the case was called Slaughter. It's wild, but it's true. Now he can fire them all. Pulte's been doing that. Pulte's coming in. The election expose might be tomorrow night as Trump speaks. Well, while that's going on, Trump says, okay, Pulte's done what I need him to do. Here's your bone. Here's Clayton. And Clayton's going to be awesome. He's going to be awesome. Here's a little bit from his testimony today.
Additionally, I'm interested in hearing about your efforts to advance America's national security in your current role as the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York. As U.S. Attorney, Mr. Clayton has gone after some of the worst national security threats, including foreign enemies who put innocent Americans at risk and have American blood on their hands. For example, he's overseen the indictment of Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro, secured the guilty plea of Venezuelan General Hugo Carvajal, and overseeing the prosecution of an Iran-backed terrorist connected to multiple attempted terror attacks in the United States. Though these are just a few high-profile cases, let me state for the record that Mr. Clayton has worked hand in glove with our intelligence agencies and counterterrorism personnel to lock up criminals who threaten our national security. I commend him and all those involved for this important work. I'm interested in hearing from the nominee how he plans to apply this experience as the leader of the
Clayton is the U.S. Attorney for SDNY, Southern District of New York. It is one of the most high-profile districts in America for justice. It's where Maduro ended up. Oh, election stuff maybe from Maduro. It's where the Epstein files were stashed. Case after case. Clayton has the receipts, friends. He's looked it all up. He's been there. He's been on base as all this has been coming in, all this has been sorted through. You think he's going to know what to do next? I have a feeling it's going to be epic when he gets in. And he should be confirmed easily. You know why? Because as good as he could be, as scary as he could be for the deep state, Pulte scares him more because Pulte is completely unpredictable. So Trump, master move. He's going to get his guy because he knew Pulte would never get confirmed to be. I mean, you move over your housing guy to be ODNI. Such a wild move. It's so hilarious, but it's working. It's working, isn't it? And now I believe Clayton was the guy Trump wanted all along, and he's going to get him because of the moves he makes. Trump he's always ahead of these people. Now, while that's going on, Trump's positioning, we have a massive fight going on over our deportations again with ICE. And it's because of this big attack that just happened, the fight that happened where people have just died at traffic stops because they've been trying to escape. We're trying to run over ICE agents. We're having it again. It's Minnesota all over again. And because of this, we're getting a lot of chirping out there. They're going to slow down deportations. They're caving in. Well, that's not what Trump's saying. Here's the latest on this.
Decision was made by the secretary along with leadership at ICE. But look, it's not a policy change. It's a temporary pause. Look, we had the last couple of shootings. ICE leadership along with DHS believes they want to look at these last couple of incidents and look, is there something that could have been done better? Is there any training that can be improved? Or it's simply ICE doing their job and bad things happen when people don't comply with law enforcement officers. So I think it's going to be a short pause. And I'm confident that ICE is well trained in vehicle stops, and you're going to see us keep moving forward. But this is just a temporary pause.
Homan called it because right after this, Trump came out and says the men and women of ICE are doing a great job. One that has to be done. Crime is way down in America in many cases with numbers that haven't been seen in decades. The open border policy of sleepy Joe Biden allowed 25 million. He's up to 25 million. You see that? People have been saying 20 million. Now it's up to 25. That's what Trump's reporting. 25 million people to pour into our country, unchecked and unvetted. Many were criminals. We have to get them out. In order to do this, we must be strong, tough, and smart. We can't give up one of ICE's most important and effective crime-fighting tools, the traffic stop. Once we do, we're playing right into the criminals' hands. Radical left Democrats would like to see this done, but it won't happen on my watch. ICE, be judicious, fair, and smart, and go back to do your very important job. Keep those crime stat records coming. Remember, you are loved and respected in America. Yeah, it's not stopping, folks. The grifters were running with it for a couple days. They run with everything they can get. But Trump, when Trump writes this stuff, he's not writing to ICE. He's writing to us. He's telling us, this is what I want to happen. This is what I will make sure happens. He's breaking narratives. Trump knows how to control the narrative. He is an absolute genius when it comes to this. And as Homan's been reporting, ICE arrested more aliens in June than any other month in the agency's history. Deportations are up. We have people out there lying to us saying deportations are down. The Trump administration's backed off. And yet the numbers keep ticking up. Data. It's not the friend of grifters. I'm just saying. It never is. And we know things are working because what the Trump administration is doing, it's getting so good. The Trump administration is accomplishing so much. We're even forgetting some of the stuff that we've seen in the past because it's just disappeared. As Tim Pool reminds us, the fact that it's riot season and we haven't had major riots is wild. White pilling. Tim Pool, who I still like Tim Pool, but he does black pill a little too much. He gets really worked up over bad news. But he's even admitted, man, I'm having a big white pill moment. This is riot season and we're not seeing riots. Of course, they defunded USAID. Bessent went after Antifa financially. Trump called them a domestic terrorist group, put all kinds of stuff on them. You guys understand that much of the most effective work happening in our country right now is the work none of us see. It's behind the scenes. You think bad guys operate in the shadows? Well, so do good guys sometimes. They tell us what's going on by results. No riots right now is actually wild. We're halfway through July. Didn't happen last summer either. The Trump administration has far more control over what's going on than you think. And just wait till the next segment, because this is an election year, folks. Election years are when they're supposed to go crazy, put us all on edge, scare us so they can swing the vote. They can make people scare votes, like get the scare votes or intimidate you away, make you think things are worse than they are. There are reasons this stuff ramps up in election years, but not this year. Wonder why. Oh, and in the next segment, you're going to see that this is really, really going bad for them as polls are starting to surge for Trump and the Republicans. Why? Because the results are starting to come. The results are starting to come. And tomorrow, oh man, let's just let Trump remind us one more time how much this could ramp up starting tomorrow.
Machines and integrity. Can you give us sort of a sneak peek about what to expect and tell
Well,
the
I'd
audience
rather
in
save
America?
it. It will concern that subject, and we'll have a couple of other things to
Why
say
should people
also.
watch, though?
But I'd rather save it, but it's really big news. It's really, really big news.
You know, because of that statement, he can't go back. Okay, he just set us all up. So I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow night. Whatever Trump does, whether we find the speech disappointing or not, I got to tell you, from all I'm seeing in the results area, the man knows what he's doing. We're winning, folks. Justice is only begun in our nation. We're getting what we voted for. It just doesn't always look the way we thought it would, but it's happening. It's happening. All right, hit that like, hit that subscribe, folks. Next segment, we're going to go through the surge the Republicans are starting to see in Trump, as well as other stuff relevant to the midterms. But before we do, let me get into the chat. I did see a super chat just come in from Ministry of Wrongthink. Thank you, sir, for supporting the channel with a $10 super chat. Says, I think it's possible Trump's Thursday speech is a bait and switch. Hear me out. I think he gave the deep state too much prep time, and he might just be forcing them to panic and reveal themselves. Be ready. Interesting thought. As far as prep time is, I'm going to push back on that because he only gave them 3 days. And the timing, remember, it's coming just as Lindsey Graham just died and said the SAVE Act was close. To me, that doesn't seem like enough time. And then I see people like Axelrod, Obama's little butt buddy. He's panicking. This is full out panic. I mean, this is him trying to make Pulte and Patel, who they're terrified of, he's trying to talk down on them. If he trots out Pulti Patel and political apparatchiks, saying like they're all just yes men, posing as Intel experts, like Kash Patel's not an Intel expert. Come on, this is ridiculous. But this is what they do. This is scared. This is a terrified post. It'll only heighten fears. He'll claim emergency down the line, claim extraordinary Fed power of elections. So I'm just going to push back on the fact that you said you gave him too much time. Okay, I don't agree with that. I think that he popped it on them, and they're scared because 3 days is not much time to organize a response. It really isn't. So I'll push back on that, but I appreciate the post. And hey, I tell you what, Wrong Think, if you are right, I will come out and I'll call you out. Okay, I will. But one way or the other, just like I said, even if Trump says doesn't drop a bomb on election fraud, but does something else to wake us all up or to point a direction, I'll tell you, it's all Trump's. It's still part of the operation. Let me put it that way. So Trump might wait. He might push something out. He might just tease it. It's all possible. Do not get me wrong. So I'm open to see anything. Trump is nothing but not surprising, right? But we'll just trust the man because he is getting results. Dave Ricard says it would be epic if Maduro was at the press conference. That would be crazy epic. If Maduro was there, he has Maduro come out and be like, "It's true, we stole all the elections. We did it. Mr. Trump escorted me out, and I am telling you all, we stole every election ever. You have no real elections because of Venezuela." Yeah, that would be interesting for sure. I don't think that's going to happen, but Bucko says, quick question. Do you think SPLC investigation changed the activist landscape? Has it affected recent protests and riots? It's a big part of it. Absolutely. See, SPLC exposed how they did it. It broke down one of their institutions. Now, they were already not getting a lot of money because of pulling USAID, but it's all part of it, right? But I think the SPLC investigation and operation was more about bringing a public face to it, showing us that it was happening so the people had something to grasp onto more than the USAID. Sunnyside says, if they took out Graham to send a message to a warning, we need Obama Clinton under jail to send a message, not for high, but make a deterrent. I mean, we want that eventually for sure. Blaine Holt calls big high profile arrest trophy bucks and deer hunting. Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah. So, do we miss the appetizer? Yes. Here's our guest, Nicolas Maduro. That would be epic. Well, Trump does say it's big news, so who knows? But again, if he just pulls out something that is proof, that is like hard to argue, it's going to be a game changer. You got to think that like even people who are skeptical, they and don't like Trump, it does change things when the president of the United States says something, especially in public. It really does. So, okay. Let's move on to the next segment. Again, guys, if you got questions, comments, please tag me so I can find them. There's a lot of people on today, and so it's hard to see them if I don't see the tag. And as always, if you do decide to support the channel with a super chat, it'll be guaranteed to be read or question answered. So, and then please hit the like, hit the subscribe, go into the description, click the link, get a free Patreon month. Check out the membership, see if you like it and want to keep supporting the channel. I am viewer supported. So I appreciate your attention to this matter. All right, guys, the midterms, things are really, really starting to turn for the Democrats, for the deep state. They thought they had Trump this midterms. They did. They really did. They started to believe their own lies. It is not looking that way because the economy, folks, the economy is starting to turn the corner. This morning, we got the latest inflation news. Yesterday, we had wonderful inflation news as CPI came in way lower than expected. Well, we got the PPI in now. And guys, I'm telling you, everything is starting to shift in this economy.
The cousin, the CPI, the wholesale side producer price index for the month of June, hitting the wire's headline number -0.3%. That is 0.3 lower than the unchanged expectations in the rearview mirror. Significant revisions along the line. This one from 1.1 to down to 0.6. The cousin, the Empire Manufacturing, we're expecting a July read to come in a +9. It comes in more aggressive at 15.6. That would be the best read going back to, April of 22. That's how weak. Excuse me. We do have a positive read that was in May. That was 19.6. That was the highest since April of 2022.
Manufacturing in May and July or June both came in at the highest numbers since 2022, folks. That's huge. Huge. So inflation coming down. In fact, we're starting to head into deflation. We're not quite there yet, but the trend is starting to show. And then we got manufacturing ramping up. It's almost like everything Trump promised us is happening. Oh, and it barely took a year. This is amazing. And this is terrifying them going forward into the midterms. They did not want the economy to heat up before the midterms, folks. Why do you think they caused not one, but 2 government shutdowns in the last year? Not only did they want to stop ICE, they wanted this to not happen because the government has, unfortunately, a big deal to do with the economy. They wanted Iran to be stuck. That's why they keep causing narratives and trying to get Trump to just get stuck in it, make oil spike like crazy. It's good for them. But right now, June PPI falls to 5.5%, below 6.2. That's a massive miss, guys. 6.2 to 5.5 is almost a full percentage point miss. Core PPI, a 0.5 percentage point below expectations. That's huge. That is huge. Month-over-month PPI inflation fell 0.3%. Biggest decline since last April. Oh, guess there won't be no rate hikes. Oh, it's almost like Kevin Warsh, Trump, and Bissett know what they're doing. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. As Matt Forney writes, the Iran war is causing deflation. Prices on everything to gas to food are going down for Americans. Experts proven wrong. Anon's proven right. Once again, all of us who, guess what? Trust Trump, understand economics, understand how the presidency and policy affect economics. As I've been telling you guys since last year, everything Trump's doing is getting us back to a deflationary economy, which is the way it should be, at least for goods and food. Innovation always breeds deflation. We're breaking the Keynesian system that we've been lied to is the only way to have modern amenities, a modern economy. It's the best way. No, Trump's breaking that bubble. The combination of tax cuts, cutting regulations, shoring up our borders, kicking out people who don't belong here, and tariffs. It's amazing how it's all coming together. It's all working. Oh yeah, and Iran turns out has a lot more to do with the economy than we were told. I guess it was the Jews. Not anymore. That's too much going on there. Look at this. WTI is dipping as U.S. crude production hits record high. More oil than we ever thought we'd have. Unbelievable. SPR draw slows. Guess what? We don't need as much strategic reserve anymore. In fact, soon, I predict in the next couple months, we're going to be filling it up again at a quick rate. Cushing remains at tank bottoms. Guys, this right here is one of the biggest shifts that's ever happened in our country for the long-term wealth and prosperity of our country. Trump is fixing the foundation of our economy, redirecting it, recreating it so that we have a better future than any of us have ever experienced. It's going to be a combination of the brilliance of our first economy from 1781 to 1913, where we became, in just under 150 years, the fastest growing, greatest economy in world history. We're taking that system and combining it with modern tech. Holy crap. We have no idea. And energy abundance, which we didn't have back then. We are going to enter the vision is there. The stage is set to see an economy unlike anything we've ever imagined previously. That's what Trump is building. And guys, we're starting to see the beginnings of it. It's amazing. So while all this is going on, the economy is starting to roar. It's really, really bad for the deep state, really, really bad for the Democrats. On top of that, the Republicans are not stopping, at least the good ones, on pushing through the SAVE Act in constructive ways. See, they're not just saying, we're giving up, filibuster. No, continue to hammer the pressure on by doing it in different ways. Now the House just advanced, forcing the Save America Act into must-pass national security funding legislation on top of stopping seasonal clock change 215 to 211. Citizenship, voter ID sent to Donald Trump's desk. It still has to pass the Senate, but now it's attached to the NDAA. In other words, they can't pass the Defense Authorization Act, which they always pass and needs to be passed, and even Democrats will not feel good about having to make a decision on this one. Or the Republicans might even force out the filibuster for this. This is the pressure. We don't know if it'll happen. Odds are, still probably won't. There's going to be a major fight in the Senate over this, but the good news is the pressure stays on, and eventually it'll break. Eventually it'll break. Just so keep your eyes on this and how they keep trying these things. Speaker Johnson announced the Save America Act being surged through the House after previously passing 3 times. Safeguarding America elections and strengthening our national defense are the most basic responsibilities of Congress. So Johnson continues to be, I get the criticism of Johnson when he first came in was warranted, okay? He was a bit of a disappointment. But since Trump became president, Speaker Johnson's pulled off miracle after miracle for MAGA. I got to say that if Johnson maintains the House and keeps doing this for another few years, especially in Trump's second part of his term, maybe into the J.D. Vance or Rubio term, Johnson continues this. He could go down as one of the great House speakers ever. He continues to do amazing things, pull off amazing votes. So they get this through in reconciliation, which is what they're trying to do as well. And the House amend $10 billion puts towards the Save America Act, or where they can make work in the SAVE Act. So if they get money attached to it, now all of a sudden it can go in the reconciliation bill and does not need to go through the filibuster. That could be huge. Okay, so they're trying all kinds of different angles. We'll see what works. Now, as we're going into this election, guys, it's a reminder that, we on the Democrat side, the commies are coming out, and it's obvious, which is, a good thing. We want that. It's helping us. And people are, freaking out on the Democratic side. Here's a former Hillary Clinton advisor. We already watched James Carville crash out the other day. Well, here's a Hillary Clinton advisor talking about the socialist rise on their party. We'll just call it the communist rise.
I'm going to agree mostly with what Mehek said, and also with what was said in that editorial. These people, they're not crazy. They're ideologues, but they don't love America. Let me say that. A lot of these people do not love America. And I'm not Team Democrat, I'm Team America. And if we have people in our party who are so far left that they are saying we don't want to protect people from crime, well, that's just absurd. And by the way, we're not going to win a national election, let alone an election in Michigan, if that's our position. I'm going to agree mostly with
You hear what he's saying? This is panic. This is a former advisor to Clinton. The commies come out, you don't win. You just can't win. And this is why. I mean, Spencer Pratt, isn't it weird how these commies are always scammers? Mamdani Hakil Fundraiser is the advisor to 2 Medicaid cheats accused of ripping off $107 million. These people are criminals, and we just keep exposing them over and over again. It's wild. And as we're exposing them, MAGA continues to overperform right now in the primaries. MAGA candidates are poised to sweep Arizona's primary election. And an even more crushing poll came out since this latest article. Latest poll has Alex Collison sweeping the Secretary of State's race, now 24 points over his opponent. Warren Peterson's up 15 points over. Andy Biggs climbed up to 56 points over his opponent. And the race is flipped for superintendent of schools. MAGA is winning, baby. We're surging. This is the reshaping of the Republican Party that continues to happen. Arizona, one of the places the establishment was deeply embedded, and we're wiping them out. Arizona is one of the worst, along with Georgia, Indiana, which we already took care of Indiana. It's happening, folks. We're flipping it all, which, is one of the reasons they're scared. But, the establishment is still fighting. We have Byron Donalds is running for governor in Florida, is most likely going to win. Unfortunately, more keeps coming out on him, how he's just not a good dude. So we have to pray that when he becomes governor in Florida, that the legislature stays Republican enough or MAGA enough to overcome any establishment crap Donalds wants to pull. But this kind of stuff's starting to come out left and right on Byron Donalds. Leading Republican candidate for governor in Florida collected 60,000 hard dollar checks from 20 people and corporate entities connected to Timberline Real Estate Partners data center developer. Not only that, guys, he has been getting through his wife's foundation, they have been caught laundering some money. Well, I should say caught. It's found, but it's not officially caught. We do have his anger issues where he assaulted a woman a few years ago. Lots coming out on him. Now, there's two ways to look at this. Are they trying to take out a good guy, or is he legit just establishment type? Donald Trump did endorse him, but again, Trump will endorse whoever is going to win in the cases where it's clear nobody else has a chance. And there's not another good candidate right now in Florida. Donalds is going to take over, and this is just, we have more cleanup to do. So it's not all gravy. It's not all easy, but we're going to keep fighting. And I do believe Florida, DeSantis has done such a good job, and that legislature is so MAGA. I don't think Donalds is going to be able to do that much damage, but we do need to pray for that gets cleaned up, because we just don't want this to keep happening, especially because we're starting to, make major inroads. We really are. These new polls are starting to come out, and it's terrible for the Democrats. Harvard-Harris. And one of the reasons I show polls, because guess what, guys? As I always say, polls by themselves can be lying to you, and often are, but the trends don't lie. The trends are always what matters. And the trend is that Republicans are gaining right now. And when I say Republicans, well, we've been taking over the Republican Party as MAGA. MAGA owns the Republican Party now. So this Republican Party is not your dad's Republican Party. It's not even your Republican Party 5 years ago. It's a different Republican Party. This Congress, should we win, will be more MAGA than we've ever seen. Ever. This will be the best Congress between Senate and House. And it doesn't mean there's still not leftovers there. There are. But we're getting closer. We've already taken over the House. We're close to getting the Senate to be mostly MAGA. It's going to probably take 2 more elections, maybe 3. But we're close. We've been taking them out. If we get the power back, we win these midterms, it will still be the most MAGA Congress Trump's ever had, which means a whole lot more options, a whole lot more opportunity to get what we want pushed through. And we got to do this, guys. We got to do this, because this is our opposition. This is our opposition. These are the kind of people they have in charge of our bureaucracies.
Of course, the vast majority of pregnancies are in women, and I have absolutely no problem with using the word pregnant women. I use it myself.
Has a non-biological woman ever had a baby?
A transgender person can.
That's not a biological woman. Has a non-biological woman ever had a baby?
I would reiterate, we
it's
take
ridiculous.
Care. Of course, the vast majority
of people who've been pregnant by women. Are you kidding me? This is insane, guys. It's insane. Pratt's calling it out. Notice how Nithya Raman just completely disappeared after they blocked us out of the general election. She's not campaigning at all, like a pickpocket disappearing in the crowd, just a ghost. Told you her campaign was a scam, colluding with Bass from the start. Yep. So they're going to pull out every trick to win. They're going to pull out every trick they possibly can find. But we're not going to let it win. And the reason we need Trump, everybody calling it communist, is because I'm telling you, folks, it's one thing when they say Democrats are too far left. Most people don't understand what that means. Or in the middle, they'll say, it's just Americans with disagreements. But when you say communist, it changes the game. It gives you an enemy to defeat. And I'm telling you, communism's not on the rise in America, folks. It's just on the rise in the American Party. From the latest Echelon Insights poll, probably are insulting to others. Socialism has negative 29 favorables. Communism, negative 73 favorables. You see why Trump says communism all the time? Communists, why Spencer Pratt's calling them who they are? Guys, these people are not popular. They cannot win big elections. You call them who they are, you destroy it. Even capitalism is still a plus 20 in America. So for everybody who's been scared, this is spreading, this is bad, it's not spreading. It's a disease the left has to deal with because they allowed these people positions of power. They gave them platforms. They have to deal with the consequences now because in the general, this doesn't win. You understand? They can only win in deep blue districts. This is nowhere near. Americans still hate communism. Overwhelmingly so. It's not even close. So I'm not worried about that, but I am worried about them lying and sneaking in. But thankfully, they're exposing themselves. And look at the shift that's happening in the last couple of weeks. A, the economy is getting better. B, people are understanding Iran more and trust Trump more in Iran. And C, the communists have come out. And it's really, really bad for them. This is the latest from Harvard-Harris generic congressional ballot registered voters, 50-50. Well, if it's 50-50, folks, it's over. Republicans win because we have a 5-point advantage based on our structural advantages. Likely voters, 51-49, still we win. They need to be beating us by at least 5 points to win. This is really trending in the right direction. Oh, don't want to skip ahead here. RMG research, another poll. All these dropped around the same days. RMG has Democrats only up 2. Among enthusiastic voters, they're only up 1. It's falling apart quickly, very quickly. RMG poll, the full generic up 2. Just covered that. I just did that one too. Sorry. Those are on different ones. All right. And then looking ahead presidentially, 28. They continue. This muddled group is a disaster for the Democrats. They don't have a leader. Whereas Vance is continuing to consolidate. I keep telling you guys, I know you love Rubio. A lot of you do. I keep telling you the people have already decided it's going to be Vance if he runs. Rubio is not going to overcome a 20-point disadvantage. And this is not one poll. This is all the polls over and over again. Rubio's way down. And Rubio himself says he won't run if Vance runs because they're friends. They'll run together. But this continues. And by the way, Vance is starting to find his spine as Trump's now having him doing a lot of the messaging on the ramping up in Iran. This is from Echelon. We got Harris X right here. Vance is still ahead of Rubio, 22 points. Harris starting to pull ahead a little bit for the Democrats. Are you guys ready for the Harris part 2? I am. I'm ready for the laughter. It's going to be hilarious. Interesting in this poll, DeSantis got 0. That's fascinating. Regardless, it's one of these two. As of right now, if Vance doesn't want it, it goes to Rubio. And these two will destroy any of these people here. So again, I'm going to keep telling it till I'm blue in the face. I'm going to keep showing you guys these polls because they do matter. The trends matter over and over again. I want you to understand this is the kind of thing you do not overcome. This is a terrible bench. And so we win this fall. It gets worse and worse and worse for them heading forward. It really does. Especially because Trump's numbers are going up. Uh-oh. This is their worst fear. Morning Consult, latest poll, lefty group, has Trump up to 45%. Man, that's dangerous for them. 45% makes him the most popular second-term president since Reagan. Yeah. I think Clinton flirted with it for a while. But yeah, this makes him more popular right now than Obama at the same point. Way more popular than Bush. Crazy stuff. And the latest daily from Rasmussen, almost 50%. I told you guys, as soon as gas prices started trending, the grifter class, they went too early. March was the all-in. Attack Trump, sow discord, try to destroy MAGA, try to ruin it. They went all in and they failed. They failed miserably. And now Trump's rebounding. Oh, and guess what? The economy hasn't even gotten to its best point yet. Gas prices haven't even gotten to their lowest point yet. Iran hasn't been completely finished yet. Oh, man. Just wait. Just wait. As Scott Adams said before he died, he imagined that Trump would do very hard things that would make him unpopular in the moment, but by the time he was done and people got to look back, he would become the most popular president of the modern age. Well, Scott, as usual, was right. This is trending in the right direction. This is terrifying to them. So just remember, guys, we trust Trump. He knows what he's doing. Here's a great little story from Whitney Cummings from a few years ago about how much Trump does understand the media and how he understands messaging.
When the person being roasted goes up at the end, that's where it gets interesting, right? Yeah. Because I can't just go, hey guys, come to this roast and roast me. You guys are all my friends. And then I'm just like, it's kind of, it has to sort of be about something else. And that is what Donald Trump really knew. I mean, the guy's like a media genius, quite obviously. But so they kept telling us, he's going to run for president. Like there's this fact sheet. And we're like, okay, we're talking about his college. He's had a steak business. He had, he's had every sort
apprentice, all that.
All of it.
Yeah.
And so we're going all these other ways, the hotels and the blah. And we're ignoring the president thing. We're just like, that's a stunt. It's silly. Like, what are you talking
hilarious.
about? And then, we go up and we do the this and your dick and you're this and you're that and da-da. And then he gets up there and, I'm like, great. He's going to call me a whore. He's going to call everyone, whatever. And he gets up and he goes, this is what's wrong with America. All these Hollywood elites beating up on a self-made man. Ooh. And we're like, what?
He was dead ass?
What? Call me a whore. Call me a slut. Call me a cumface. What's happening? What's he doing? And he that was like his first step.
Trying to be like.
In being like likable, and it was genius. And people started blaming us for like, you made him likable. You made him seem like an underdog. Like the roast was like his first sort of like step.
Because then didn't he do SNL?
Yeah, I believe so. And then Alec Baldwin did him forever or whatever. But it was like when you do the roast, it makes everybody love you because they see you can have a sense of humor about yourself. And Donald Trump, he would every time you'd hit him hard, he'd be like, ooh, right? And so I went up.
Media genius. They know it. This is people who don't even like him, but they know it. And as Jesse Waters was just interviewing Scott Bessent, and Bessent had something very interesting to say about Trump.
Does the president ever say, Mr. Bessent, I'd like to take some things from the Treasury Department and bring it to the White House?
Well, in the Roosevelt Room, there is a beautiful painting of Alexander Hamilton that used to be outside my door. And used to be. So the president sent over some beautiful gold gilting for my office. So it wasn't exactly an even trade, but for President Trump, it was pretty even.
He usually comes out on top.
Not usually, always.
Always. Does the president?
He usually comes out on top, not usually, always. That's what's happening, folks. We're going to see it this year. I think 100% Trump has a plan for the midterms. It's already trending in the right direction. Democrats are panicking, and we haven't even gotten the drop that we believe might be coming tomorrow with the election fraud speech. Hold on, guys. Hold on to your seats, because it's a wild ride about to happen, and we could not only just win the midterms at this point with these numbers, we could blow them away. Don't listen to the fear porn. Don't listen to the grifters. As of right now, we're winning. We're winning. And I think it's only going to get better from here. All right, hit that like and subscribe, folks. We got a lot more to get to. Updates on Iran, plus the grifter report. It's all headed that way. But I did see some super chats come in, so I want to get into those. Make sure I honor these people. Let's see. Laura Paulson earlier did a $2 super chat I missed. Said, "We the people are ready to see more arrests." I agree, and it'll come. I Speak For You says, "Happy birthday to your grandpa," and many more from us. Thank you so much, Speak For You. Yeah, my grandpa's birthday is on Saturday, 95 years old. That's why I'm going to Texas. And so thank you. Thank you for that, and I really appreciate it. He's a great man, and I'm happy to go visit him. Chio Shap with a $5 super chat says, "Trump's speech as I came to you tonight, thousands of Democrats being rounded up, sent to Gitmo for the act of treason. No one's above the law." Oh my God. Could you imagine? That would be insane. I doubt that's going to be what happens, but man, you never know. You never know. Some people believe that that is going to happen at some point, a speech just like that. We'll see. Keishu with the $20 super chat says, "Grab some Shiner box, share with your grandpa, and tell him I said happy 95th. I will, Keishu. Thank you so much. He is, I'll get the Shiner box because I don't get it very much being no longer in Texas, but he's a Coors Light man, 95 years old. He's an old school, likes his old school American beer, and he's a Coors Light guy. I tried to teach him, but you're set in your ways at that point. In and Out with $2 super chat says, "Marco isn't eligible to be POTUS. This worries me." Here's the deal, In and Out. I keep hearing that, except the only people I hear it from are people in chats like this. I don't hear it from a single person who is a political pundit. I don't hear it from a single person who watches elections. Who's been doing this forever. Rubio ran in 2016 with no pushback on his parents at all. I don't think it will be an issue at all, because you got to understand the Democrats can't do anything, because if they go after Marco for not being a citizen or not being eligible for president, that encourages the Republicans to go all in against Obama's presidency and exposing Obama. And the Democrats don't want to mess with that. So they won't do that. Plus, it would ignite a whole firestorm on their people like Jamila Bryapal, Ilhan Omar, all them. So they're not going to touch that. The Republicans certainly won't touch it because either they believe he is legal or and eligible to run for president, or they like him and want him to have a chance. So I just don't believe the Rubio isn't eligible thing is ever going to happen. I don't think anybody cares. I personally haven't looked into it enough to know 100% if it's accurate, because I just don't see it being a factor. I don't think it's a factor. I don't think it's an issue at all. So if Vance doesn't run, Rubio will. There's not been one person who is in the know who says he's disqualified. Not one person, except for people who pop up in my chat. So, whether you're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. Rubio is seen as being qualified, and nobody's going to stop him. I'll say that. Okay. Let's see here. Let me make sure I didn't miss any tags. Pete says, "I wonder if big arrests like Obama, Clinton, Pelosi, Chuck, etc. done ASAP, lower swamp hole minions might stand down or flip and give evidence. What say you?" I think so. Would I love to see President Obama arrested or Clinton's arrested, Pelosi, etc.? Yeah, of course I would. Is it good to do before the midterms? No, because at this point, there's still enough people in the middle, still enough people who support Trump but aren't like fully awake to stuff, that would be totally turned off by those arrests like that. They would ditch Trump or vote against him on purpose because they would see it as politically minded. And they wouldn't trust that he's doing it for the right reasons. So those arrests, unless Trump has something overwhelming to share with us, they're not going to happen before the midterms. So all right. Anybody else? Any other tags? Let me go through here. I'm not seeing too many. All right. Well, guys, again, if you, I get so many viewers now that it's almost impossible to read through everything unless I'm tagged in it. So please, if you're trying to get my attention for something, questions, comments, tag me. Or if you want to support the channel, you can send a super chat, which are guaranteed to be read and answered. Schumer farted on the Senate floor today. Well, that's crazy. Yeah, it's not even so much the media's not on our side yet, Pete. It's just the people. There's not enough people awake to realize why they'd be being arrested yet. So, Violence says Matt Morris announced his baby they're expecting baby number 3. Well, good for them. More babies on the conservative side is always a good thing. I have 6, so he's still way behind me, but we can get there. DJ says I'm voting for Fishback. That's fine. He's not going to win. I have my issues with Fishback as well, but do what you need to do. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate that. Justice is not impossible, Dan. I love you, man. And I know you're in a rough place, but, blackpilling, it's just not true. Justice is possible. It just doesn't always look the way you want it to look. We're getting a lot of justice right now, honestly. I mean, our direction is more what's the word I'm looking for? We have a better positioning for a good future right now than we've had in a very long time. Let me put it that way. BSU says Rasmussen lies by about 8%. BSU, obviously you don't know anything what you're talking about when it comes to polling. Rasmussen was one of the most accurate for the last 3 elections, getting within 1 or 2 percentage points of the election results. So, all polls lie, but trends don't lie. And Rasmussen, when it comes to, even though I don't like Mark Mitchell, Rasmussen is one of the most accurate pollsters, and it's not even close. M. Paul, do you think the administration will publicly speak about City of London and Fabians? No, I don't. You just don't. There's a way to explain stuff that is less in the weeds. And Trump is always about mass appeal, mass communication. So he's not going to say City of London and get people on deep dives. No, he'll just continue to say, swamp, deep state, bad people. He's a master marketer. He's a master influencer. As Scott Adams wrote about this, how Trump's one of the best persuaders he's ever seen in his life, and that's why he initially was attracted to what Trump was doing. He's a genius when it comes to he's an absolute genius when it comes to messaging, and you just you don't go too. You don't go too in the weeds when you're trying to convince people of trends and gather their when you're trying to gather a mass following. DJ, I don't have time to get into Fishback today, but there's just all kinds of stuff I've seen that are just iffy. But I don't know that you have a good choice in Florida this election. So just vote your conscience. Vote. Do your research and. Vote for the best person you can. Comment rejection says so many people criticize Scott Adams for being bad about COVID while ignoring how many people were good on COVID or awful now about basically everything. Yeah, and also Scott Adams was very open about the fact that he learned and he changed. So listen, Scott was one of the great thinkers of our time. He really was. He was one of the best people ever for understanding messaging, explaining situations, explaining directional movement. He was an absolute genius. Some of his books, I've read almost all of his books. They're some of the most influential in my life as far as like helping me understand thinking things through better. I've seen the effects of a lot of his wisdom in my own life work. I mean, Scott Adams is one of my favorite people who's ever lived. I'm just going to be honest about that. He's great. He is great. So, all right. Anyways, let's get, we got much more to get into it. So, all right. We need to talk about Iran because that's only the biggest global force happening right now, a global issue impacting the most things, including our economy, the world economy, geopolitics at large. It's incredible what's happening. And Trump is really ramping it up. To me, when you take Iran, you take what's happening here on with the justice aspect of stuff, with the exposure that's starting to ramp up, and the momentum that's coming back with the economy and then with the midterms, it tells me we are in a stretch right now where we can expect a lot to happen quickly. And it's pretty clear Trump is working to rearrange the world in ways that's very beneficial to the American people and, through sovereignty, beneficial to everybody else as well. So, starting last week, Trump really took things up a notch. And every day now we're getting new news out of Iran and in our operation in Iran on new aspects of where this is headed. And it's very interesting that we're starting to do some of the things we already did, but now with more support. But here's Jesse Waters on the latest.
Fox News alert, Trump has Iran in a chokehold. For the first time in the war, we're launching airstrikes at the same time as the blockade. Senior national correspondent Kevin Corke has the details. Kevin.
Evening, Jesse. The wall of steel officially in effect once again. As of 4 p.m. Eastern time today, the U.S. blockade resumed. Of course, that stops ships from entering Iran or leaving Iran for that matter. And that means the Strait of Hormuz is once again under the control of the U.S. That, according to the president, who also told our Trey Yingst today that the memorandum of understanding was a test. And it's a test the Iranians failed.
Did you hear that? Trump has now come out and said the MOU is a test, just like we were all saying. People like me, those who watch the show know MOU is a setup. It was a setup because it was an opportunity to off-ramp. He said, here you go, Iran. I'm giving you every opportunity to break free of being a proxy state of the globalists. If you take this, we will make sure you get to become a sovereign independent nation that can have the open opportunity to thrive. And all the neocons hated it. They said they're giving Iran everything. He set them up to look like idiots because now the neocons and everybody else who is saying that Trump gave everything away. Well, how retarded do they look now that Iran didn't take it, that Iran broke it? It makes them look like fools because they said Trump basically surrendered. So they look like idiots. Iran is clearly the bad guy now. The IRGC is clearly the bad guy. This isn't just unprovoked anymore. He totally set them up. And it's incredible to watch. And now what we're doing, guess what? July 4th is now over. Oil prices have stabilized. Trump has proven he's not sending boots on the ground to take over Iran. He's given them an out. They didn't take it. Everything is different now. And yet we can do the same thing now that was effective. Every day this blockade's in effect, they lose $400 million a day. That, my friends, is going to crush them. The siege continues and Trump isn't holding back.
Do you anticipate that the strikes we're seeing this week against Iran will expand? Are you considering hitting energy targets or other locations inside of Iran?
I'll save the energy targets for last, but ultimately we'll hit energy targets, yeah. But we're going to hit them very hard tonight. We're going to hit them very hard tomorrow night. We're going to hit them very hard the night after. And then next week it gets really bad for them because next week comes the power plants. Next week comes the bridges. We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges unless they get to the table and negotiate.
Do you anticipate?
Wow. Guess what? No more Taco Trump. Nobody's saying that anymore either, as we've been unleashing hell upon Iran's military. And it's getting interesting. Trump seems to be really focused on ending this militarily. Kobesiler reports Trump held a Situation Room meeting on Tuesday to discuss a massive offensive in Iran, per Axios. Details include offense will include strikes wider in scope than the current straits around the strait. Trump was joined by J.D. Vance, Rubio, Pete Hegseth, Kaine, Ratcliffe, Witkoff. This is interesting. Witkoff has not been a part of these. When it comes to the strikes, he's been on the negotiating side of things, getting the peace deals, same as JD. But now Trump's got them all in on discussing escalation. It kind of sounds like it was a rope-a-dope, doesn't it? It kept everybody separated for a while and now bringing them all in together. This is also setting up JD Vance for everybody. This is another psyop that was completely busted. People were saying that JD Vance, Trump left JD on the peace deal to hang him out to dry, to ruin him. That was a psyop going on. That Trump knew the peace deal would fall through and it'd make JD look terrible. But what has Trump done? Trump's actually just brought JD in closer. And JD is the one out there saying, if they punch us now, we knock the hell out of them. That was JD last week. Huh. Very interesting shift, isn't it? See, they don't do anything on accident, folks. Trump administration does not do anything on accident. Messaging, strategy, all this, it's all on purpose. The meeting reportedly focused on new plans for devastating strikes on strategic targets in Iran. Trump said they better make a deal or they're not going to have anything left. That's where we're headed. Now, CENTCOM's reporting U.S. forces have resumed the naval blockade against vessels transiting to and from ports and coastal areas. There are currently more than 20 Navy warships and hundreds of military aircraft operating across the Middle East. Wow. This is really ramped up. 6 a.m. to this morning, CENTCOM forces began launching a wave of strikes. Strikes are designed to further degrade military capabilities. It's just nonstop. It's happening at night now. It's happening in the afternoon. It's happening in the morning. And Bassett now is cracking down the economic portion again. Iranian regime survives on deception. The Shamkhani network is one of its most profitable engines. Treasury shutting down the financial infrastructure that allows the regime to continue its threats to U.S. security and global shipping, choking them out in every aspect. This is huge, guys. This is all out. This is different. This is a shift. No holding back anymore. No playing the peace deal game back and forth. Trump did say they might come to the table today, and that sent markets spiraling. But the difference is in the past, Trump would hold off on the strikes when he said that. Now the strikes are continuing even as talks continue. That is a shift. It means we're working to end this. And it's fascinating to me how Trump did this. CENTCOM completed a morning round of strikes against Iran at 7:30 today. CENTCOM launched precision munitions against coastal defense systems, cruise missile storage launch sites on Greater Tun Island during the 90-minute wave. Further degrade Iran's ability to attack commercial shipping. They're making it so they can't hit anybody. Incredible stuff. Chinese-owned container ship going to port in Bandar Abbas with likely desperately needed goods has decided to abort that idea, leave the Gulf before the U.S. would blow them up at 8 p.m. Goods left a week after the MOU was signed. This, guys, even China isn't trying to force stuff through. Oh, where's the Chinese? There's going to be World War III if you go to Iran. Nope. China's listening. They're not playing games at all. They don't want to mess with this. And while we're striking Iran, while we're ramping stuff up on Iran, this is obliterating the European economy. They're struggling. It's exposing NATO. And Trump is starting to pull in people closer, like the Iraq prime minister. It's really starting to look like this guy is a major strategic ally going forward. Can you guys just fathom? In my lifetime, it is crazy to me that we went from Iraq, perennial enemy, going back to 1991, in my lifetime that I remembered, the Gulf War, through 2003, when we started the new Iraq operation with Bush. My early years as an adult, surrounded by war, Iraq was either an enemy or completely destabilized. And now they are one of the greatest allies we're building in the Middle East. This is incredible stuff. Listen to this.
Well, we don't think we need the military there anymore. It's a very big operation. And what we do have is the oil companies are all going in now, and they're doing partnerships with Iraq, and they're getting along very well. The relationship is a whole big relationship where we don't need the military there. We're there to help them. We're there to protect them if need be, but we don't think that's going to be necessary. And their primary, I consider an opponent. They might have considered a friend, but I consider that an opponent was Iran, was a big burden on Iraq because they were the bully of the Middle East, as you know. And we were just talking about that, but they're not going to have that problem anymore because Iran has been very much destabilized, and really their military power is just a tiny fraction of what it was just 4 months ago. So they're not going to have that problem. I think that it's really, in a sense, it's given them freedom to do what they have to do. And I think that's one of the reasons that our oil companies are going in there at levels that have never been seen before. So
our oil companies are going into Iraq like we've never done before. Oh, man. Get the free flow of oil out. Guys, we might actually see, as Peter St. Ong reported the other day, we could see oil dip into the 50s, maybe the 40s in the next year, next 6 months even. That means oil prices around $2, under $2 for most people in America. You understand the energy glut we're about to enter into? This is incredible, incredible stuff. This is going to be so much prosperity, and it allows places like Iraq to be more sovereign as well. And right now, U.S. advances the plans to build an Iraq-Syria oil pipeline to bypass the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is becoming less relevant by the day. You take that away, what does Iran ever have as leverage again? Their military completely debilitated, their nuclear program devastated. Nobody will trade with them. You cut them off, and now they can't even patrol the strait because nobody needs it. We're almost there. This is wild stuff. Wild stuff. But they keep lying. IRGC, not a single drop of oil or gas will be exported from this region as long as America's malicious actions continue. These attacks will only delay the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. You know how stupid this all is? And of course, our media is reporting it. Our grifters are reporting it as if it matters, as if Iran tells the truth. But it's so easy to destroy these narratives now. Matt Forney says, how long can the Iranians keep up this charade? You can open up the marine traffic maps and watch tankers curving around Musandam every hour of the day. Iran can't touch them. They've resorted to saying they've struck tankers because they can't actually sink or stop them. We can see the trackers, folks. Everything they lie about, we can see very easily. It's just like poof, passing through. No big deal. None at all. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. As my friend Bam writes, this is for the TV and podcast personalities who think they have a clue about the conflict between USA and Iran. If not previously lobotomized, please try your best to connect the dots. BRICS attempt to unseat U.S. petrodollar dominance. This was happening the last few years, the BRICS nations. Then we had our Operation Venezuela. UAE left OPEC. Trump baits Iran to targeting tankers in Onami waters. Trump blockades the strait as punishment. West-East oil pipeline opens in 2027. I can lead donkeys to water. I can't force them to drink. The global energy supply has been reorganized, and all of it will be transacted in U.S. dollars. Golden age, folks. This is why Trump talks about a golden age, because everything, see, he's laying the pipe. He's laying the foundation for the glut of energy, the glut of prosperity, the openness, this new sovereignty, us being the center of the world in so many areas. He's dismantled the threat of BRICS, the BRICS alliance. He's dismantled the threat of people jumping off the petrodollar. He's dismantled OPEC and their hold on oil. He's dismantled the globalists' hold on shipping. He's working on dismantling all the state-sponsored terrorism. It's all happening in just the first 15 or 18 months of this administration. This is unbelievable, guys. What we're watching is something we've just never seen before. We've just never seen it before. This is a whole global restructuring. See, even past presidents who are great, Washington, Lincoln, I know some of you won't like that Lincoln one, but sorry, I disagree. Even our great presidents in the past, what they did for America is incredible, and they deserve every bit of praise. We've never had a president who not only did this for America, but also restructure the world order. That hasn't happened before. Everything Trump's doing, Trump is going down. After this, he accomplishes all this, the way we're heading, he will go down as the greatest leader, the most, what I should say is the most consequential leader in modern world history. That's what's happening, because everything is being shifted around so much. Okay. That's what he's doing, changes everything. It's incredible. Incredible to watch. And Kip Herridge, who has actually been incredibly accurate in his predictions regarding Iran, says in the next 30 to 60 days, IRGC will collapse. We're very close to that. Oil into the 50s. I don't know if it'll happen in 60 days, but I think by the end of the year, pure disinflation will become the primary trend as rates plummet. Man, I've been saying this, and now I'm the one, people are catching up. I started saying this last summer based on what Trump wants to do. Disinflation is what will happen because of Trump's economic system he's putting into place. It's what happened in the 1800s. Through 1781 to 1913, the average cost of goods on a year-by-year basis averaged 0.5% deflation. It's a fact. Go look it up. Kevin Warsh is not a hawk. We could see sub 4% 10-year in Q4 and 3.5% Q1. He's talking about the bond rates. Interest rate sensitive names. By the way, if this happens, it's going to start making housing very affordable again, as the inventory keeps continuing. Great stuff. Interest rate sensitive names will begin a parabolic move higher into year end. Groups to own: semis, tech, small caps, gold, silver, especially gold miners, housing, Bitcoin. This is a good account to follow, guys. If you want, so far, all the doomers. Remember, yesterday we found out that 67 of 67 economists from CNBC, Wall Street, etc., were all wrong on inflation. All predicted wrong. I've been following this guy for a while. He's been right on a lot of it. What Trump's doing is reshaping the global world order to bring sovereignty to the nations, to break the globalist hold, to end Keynesian economics for us, and enter us into an age of prosperity where everything lines up and is working in ways we haven't seen in our lifetimes. Just wait. It's coming, folks, because everything Trump's doing is setting this up. That's why Iran matters so much right now. It's breaking the global world order. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. And the best is truly yet to come. All right, please hit that like, that subscribe. We got the Grifter Report next. I know you guys are excited for that. But first, let me get into the chat. Make sure I catch up with everybody who has tagged me. Thank you guys for blowing it up. Look at all this. This is good conversations going on. I did see a tag here. GDL says DeSantis hasn't formally endorsed Jay Collins, but that's his pick. So there's someone viable besides Byron Donalds. All right. Well, I don't know enough about Collins, but I'll have to look into him. El Dunerino, do I think Trump was just buying time for military to be ready? I don't think that was the only thing he was doing. I think that was part of it. I think he was, see, when we were in that ceasefire, okay, that lasted a couple months and then the MOU time, we ended up, Iran was so broken and poor and closed off, they weren't able to rebuild much. So what Trump did is he unleashed hell that first few days, backed off, and accomplished a lot of other things, especially optically. He allowed time for the oil to start rerouting, so oil prices would remain stabilized if we went back in. He allowed Iran to hang itself. He allowed time for NATO to be exposed. He allowed a lot of stuff to happen. But yes, part of it was that the American military got fully restocked, and we got more intel during that time, watching them. Think about it this way. Since we've escalated again and are launching attacks at them nonstop, what has been their response? Oh, they've got the super duper secret missiles, guys. They're waiting. They're waiting. That's the Douglas McGregor, Scott Ritter line, but they're total liars. You don't just let your entire country be destroyed, every bit of your military be destroyed, all your leadership taken out over and over again, and still wait to send out your missiles. That's retarded. Only idiots or liars think that. But that's one of the narratives out there. Iran's so much more powerful than we think. They're controlling the Strait of Hormuz. Then why isn't oil at 150? People are dumb, man. They want to believe something, and they have no data on their side. It doesn't, nothing adds up for them. We are destroying every bit of their power in Iran, time after time, just breaking them down. And they haven't responded? Are you kidding me? Yeah, sorry. They can't do anything. Sunny says, tomorrow Trump live, AM or PM? It's PM, 9 p.m. Eastern. Let's see here. Can I elaborate my economics? What do you mean by that, Deuterino? I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean by elaborate my economics? I'm a capitalist, but with the American system, like a Hamiltonian type system. You're welcome, brother. Do I have any idea why that 2030 date was so important to the globalists? They slammed upon the border knowing everyone knows. I don't know. I think it was an arbitrary, number they chose. You're talking about the Great Reset, the 2030. I think what they did is they were walking, up to it for a long time. They'd infiltrated our institutions. They'd infiltrated our government. They'd seized most of the control of our economy. And they were, using our military for their purposes through NATO and stuff. And so they were just bleeding us out. And with Obama coming in and then getting into Clinton, they were expecting to win. They were expecting it to be over. So what they did is they decided 2030 was the end game. They were going to, the 2020s were going to be hell for the people, but it was going to be the full implementation of their end game, their technocratic Fabian communist society. That's what the globalists wanted to do. That's what City of London wanted to do to us. And they thought they were going to get there. And by getting through it, they had everything lined up, and then Trump was the wrench. Trump was the wrench thrown into it. And in his first administration, even though he was undercut by Republicans, he didn't have the same focus. I don't think he realized how bad it was, him and his team. He didn't get all of his team in. He played closer to the Republicans because he didn't know maybe how infiltrated they were. But regardless, he still accomplished a lot. He still unwound most of the Obama years. And so Biden came in, and what they did is they accelerated faster than they ever have before. And it woke the people up, and the people hated it, and they pushed back. And the Supreme Court, in many ways, kept us afloat during that time. So then Trump comes in a wave back in 24. More people are awake. They rigged 24, but they couldn't beat it. It was too big to rig. He sweeps in. Now he's in way more powerful because he's overtaken the Republican Party. MAGA has overtaken the Republican Party. He gets everybody in, and now they have no chance. Like 2030, like their best bet to regain things where they wanted to is if they got back in 28 and they played everything perfect, they might be able to get what they wanted by 2060. That's how far Trump set them back. And that's if everything goes perfect. Trump is reshaping the entire foundation and to a more awake group of people now, a more awake America. The odds of us going back to where we were, ever getting to where they were in 2030 is, or wanted to go to in 2030, it's like nearly impossible. Trump saved us. He truly did. Doesn't mean we won't have bad times. It doesn't mean there won't be challenges. We're never like, I'm not preaching utopia. That's stupid. But I believe a much better world is coming. I do. Macrophobe says people are talking Putin may be overthrown due to success. Who's saying that? I'm telling you, that is retarded. I'm not saying you're retarded. I'm saying whoever's saying that is. There's no way. It's not going to happen. Putin has such a stranglehold on Russia. Are you kidding me? He's not going to be overthrown. Also, the idea that Ukraine is winning is all a psyop as well. They're not. Putin's purposely holding back for reasons we don't fully understand. Chungus says Rogan just dropped a 3-hour episode of Vance. Now that is going to be must listen to. I'll probably listen to that on a plane when I'm traveling tonight. Thank you for that, Big Chungus. Oh, Deuterino, thanks, man. Okay, I'm glad I answered your question. Anybody else have questions, comments? Please put in the chat. Tag me so I can see it, and I don't want to miss it. Bobby says our wrench was appointed by God. Amen. Absolutely agree with that. I believe that fully. I really do. As always, guys, you can. I'm about to do the Grifter Report, and then I'll be signing off until Thursday night for Trump's speech. Heading to Texas tonight. Going to see my grandpa. It's 95th birthday, but then some friends as well. Leaving my family for 5 days, which is the longest I've been away from them in a long time. But yeah, I'm excited. I still might throw out a meetup place maybe around San Antonio if I have the time. So but that'll, I'll let members know about that. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But listen, but I just appreciate you guys. I want to say that. Okay. I'll be in San Antonio area, big event. So I don't want to put out the exact details on a live show. There's a lot of people who hate me. Let's just be honest. But I will, if I put something together, I'll let members know. So, but yeah, now I got something to listen to. So your hometown crash. That's awesome. But yeah, so guys, if you do want to support the channel, I am a listener supported channel. Other than the pennies that YouTube gives me from those annoying ads they play, don't have any sponsors. It's you guys who support it. So if you want to support the channel, super chats, or you can always go in the membership, go to Patreon, click the link in the description, get a free month, try it out, go to the Discord, see, meet the community. It's amazing. It's just like this chat, except people even more invested. And just it's 24/7. Plus you get access to members only live shows, and other content, including a class that I've been teaching that I will not be getting back to till next week, guys. Sorry about that. But okay, let's get into it, shall we? Ami's back. Candace Owens has had one of the worst weeks of her career, if not the worst week. And I've been super here for it. But so is Ami, who I love. Ami did a new video where Candace is at, and we're going to watch some of it because he always makes me laugh, and I know he makes you guys laugh too. It is 7 minutes, so I might not play the whole thing, but let's let Ami make us laugh because this is exactly what I think of Candace Owens right now.
All right, you guys, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. As you all know, I was on vacation, grieving. I was grieving. Obviously, we're all watching this circus, this sham of a trial, of a court trial going on. As all of you know, the slop, the court slop is rolling out, and we are going to triple down in our pursuit of the truth. Let's just take a look at some of the footage from the trial, some of which I found very interesting, okay? Very interesting. Let's take a look at the judge's reaction to Charlie's assassination. And if you look very closely, you find something very interesting. It's very interesting. Let's take a look. As you can see, he's watching, and there it is. Of course, the Zionist Mafia is saying that he was shocked when he watched this, that he suddenly blinked, but that looked like a wink to me. Who was the judge winking at? When, as he's watching the tape, he's winking.
Sorry. What I was saying is this is my first time watching this too. And so I wanted to experience it with you guys because Ami's a genius. The way he does her mannerisms, the way she speaks, it's so genius. It kills me. So he's bringing me great joy at the same time as you guys. So just letting you guys know, it's not like I've watched this 10 times. I'm enjoying this with you.
Winking. Who's he winking at? Who's he winking at? Who is the judge coordinating with in this video? Brian Harpel? Frank Turek? Who are you winking at? Who are you winking at? Like, I got you. I find it very interesting that the exact moment and time of Charlie's assassination, we have a judge who's winking at someone in the video. Is he saying job well done? Is he saying mission accomplished? We are going to look into that. We are going to dig deeper into that and find out why this judge was winking. Who's he winking at? Is he winking at Ben Shapiro? Is he winking at those in the crowd carrying Israeli cell phones? I don't know. We'll see. You guys, they think we're stupid. They think we're stupid. Next up, of course, we have a confession, an insane confession by Jeremy Boring. Jeremy Boring, when asked where he was when Charlie was shot, when he found out, he said he was in the shower. In the shower.
This is exactly what a Candace Owens episode is like. She sits there in front of her stupid laptop, never shows stuff, and just talks and just hammers stuff home. And like, obviously it works for some people. They get convinced because she just repeats herself so much, but it's just nothing. She just says nothing and she just lies and she just covers up everything. Like, instead of saying so, she throws out a question or a weird observation and just hammers it home over and over. It's so perfect. I love it. It is so perfect.
Really, Jeremy? Why would you be in the shower conveniently when Charlie was getting killed? Why would you be in the shower? Were you cleaning off DNA? I knew it. I always knew there was something satanic, something demonic about Jeremy Boring. Something obsessive about Jeremy Boring, and the fact that he would be in the shower during Charlie's assassination, the fact that he would be in the shower is very suspicious. It's very interesting. Why would you be taking a shower while Charlie Kirk is getting killed unless you want to clean off DNA evidence of your involvement? What were you cleaning off, Jeremy? What were you trying to hide? What were you cleansing yourself of?
Like 2 minutes on the same thing.
Was it guilt?
That's her show.
As we continue uncovering the events of that day with this story, we find out that no one was giving Charlie CPR. Why was no one giving Charlie CPR? It got me thinking, what does CPR actually stand for? And if you dig deeper, you realize maybe it stands for creepy pedophiles of Renthan. You guys, we're getting so close. We're getting so close. Creepy pedophiles of Renthan, of course. They held off on doing that because CPR stands for creepy pedophiles of Renthan. And now we know what their true motivations were in the back of that car. Now, as I looked more and more at the footage from that day, I couldn't help but notice, wonder, not only were so many people wearing maroon, but all the men were wearing pants. Why were the men wearing pants? Why were all of them wearing pants? And not just pants, but jeans. A lot of people wearing jeans on that day. And then suddenly I remembered who was the most popular jean manufacturer, who's one of the most popular jean companies, is none other than Levi Strauss, who's a Frankist. Levi Strauss, who makes jeans, who conveniently on that day had a lot of these young men all wearing jeans. You guys. Levi Strauss, who was a Zionist, was a Frankist, was part of the Zionist mafia, part of the Zionist cult, and they are satanic. And I believe Ben Shapiro's father was also seen recently wearing jeans, but we will verify that for you. We will get that for you. And I have sources who I will not name, but I have very reliable sources that claim that they saw Ben Shapiro's father wearing jeans in Florida. Okay, you don't wear jeans in Florida. It's too hot to wear jeans in Florida. But he was wearing jeans on that day from Levi Strauss. A source also tells me Bill Ackman was wearing jeans in the Hamptons. It's all connected. It all makes sense, you guys. It all makes sense. They think we're stupid. So we're on to you, Daily Wire. We're on to you, Ben Shapiro. We see you for what you are.
The demon voice.
We see your father for who he is and the jeans that he wears from Levi Strauss. You can see it. It's so obvious. We see it. And you're not going to get away with this. Okay, I always knew there was something wrong. I always knew there was something off. Jeremy Boring in the shower at the time of Charlie's death, washing off DNA, them not doing CPR because it stands for creepy pedophiles of Remphan. It all adds up. It all makes sense. And I've always felt this. I've always felt this so deeply. So we will not stop. We will not stop until we get to the truth. Let's take some of your comments. Candy Cult Forever 88 writes, "Hey Candace, glad you're back. My asshole itches and I think Ben Shapiro was the cause." I agree.
I agree.
I totally agree. There was always something off about Ben Shapiro. And when I worked at Daily Wire, my asshole would itch and I wouldn't, every time I'd walk by him, every time I would walk by Ben, I'd like, there was something going on there. I think there were bees. Mommy Sleuth Hubby in the Closet 44 writes, "Hey Candace, Charlie came to me in a dream last night too and said you were right about everything." I'm telling you, he's making his rounds. He's making his rounds, especially now because he knows that I'm his David. Brain Dead Candy Lover 9 writes, "Lance Twigs, Lance Bass, NSYNC, bye. Sounds like a threat. It's going to be me. Candace, it was supposed to be you. Coincidence? I think not." I totally agree. It's amazing observationality, and I agree with that. Last comment from G Farmer 613. "You are an effing nut job. Come upstairs now." Wait, how did that go through? Can we scratch that? Can we erase that? Okay, we'll take that out. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for your comments. Thanks so much for your feedback. Thank you so much for staying with me on this journey, because it's not about me. Man. It's not just about Charlie. It's about all of us. We are going MaxiPad. We are going hard. And I'm going to collect more intel. We're getting so close. You guys, stay tuned for next week's episode. In the meantime, I'm going to collect more intel in the best way I know how, in my dreams, where I see Charlie. See you next episode.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I know that was long. I couldn't stop. I had to watch the whole thing. Oh, we need that, folks. That's exactly who Candace Owens is. He nailed it. I mean, and if you don't believe it, I mean, this is the latest from Candace. Here is the latest from Candace, and Ami knocked it out of the park.
I know what my gut has told me about the situation from the moment that it took place. I know what beyond my gut and beyond my dreams.
Beyond my
the statement from Andrew Colbert, "It was supposed to be you." Was it? Was it? Is it fair to ask if it's plausible that when Charlie was taken to the Hamptons?
It's impossible not to die laughing watching her after watching Ami. She does exactly all the things. Beyond my gut. Beyond my dreams. I mean, this is unbelievable. This is a real person. This is her grift. It's insane.
The phone call no one wants to address from Bibi Netanyahu. Is it fair to ask the question if it was literally supposed to be me who was supposed to be back on tour with Charlie? Did he say no to killing Candace Owens?
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
And then did he become a liability because he said no? What did Charlie turn down from Bibi Netanyahu while Erica was there? Again, the people that were present don't even want to acknowledge the phone call. I only got an acknowledgement that it happened from Erica in person, who then said, oh, he was just following up on a letter that Charlie wrote in May. Really? Bill Ackman's house, you put Bibi Netanyahu on the phone? And he's just like, hey, I got your letter. I want to talk about that letter from months ago. This feels like a good time.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. So Charlie is now was killed because he refused to kill her. That's where she's at now, guys. So wow, the grift continues. Just in case you forgot, it's been 210 days since Candace Owens promised to release her smoking gun, the Egyptian planes evidence. Any day now, I demand transparency. Owens will finally release it. 210 days. Yeah, that's 7 months, folks. 7 months. Almost as long as it's been since Thomas Massie said he was going to give us 20 names from the Epstein files, 20 big names. Almost as long, So Candace is almost as good at stringing people along as Thomas Massie, but not quite. She hasn't put that out there yet. And the people who know Candace most, well, they must really love her, as her lawyer has now dropped her. Here's the notice of withdrawal of counsel of Blake Rohrabacher on behalf of defendants. This is Candace's lawyer has now dropped her. That really bodes or brings confidence, doesn't it, guys? She's telling the truth. Yeah, it's going well for Candace. She's everybody's starting to turn on her. Oh, including Tucker Carlson. What? This is from yesterday.
It is possible to identify. This is just a fact, okay? Anyone who says it's not a fact is lying or ignorant. It is absolutely possible to identify borderline personalities online using algorithms and identify them in the comment section, for example, and encourage them to commit assassinations. So that clearly that happens. And so all this talk about, did Tyler Robinson do it or whatever is not, okay, I'm sure he did. That's not really the question. Right. Was anyone else involved is the question. And to watch a bunch of people I know and like, and they've all been sucked into this kind of prima facie meaningless conversation or debate over whether he did it.
Whoa, that's a direct shot at Candace. Even Tucker is now distancing himself from Candace Owens. Oh, man. I love when they eat their own. It makes me so happy. It's pretty clear that the memo is out. Candace is toxic. Nick Fuentes now fully distanced himself. Tucker Carlson's fully distanced himself. Megyn Kelly has distanced herself. Officer Tatum distanced himself. He was good friends with her. It's pretty clear that everybody going down with the Candace ship are the biggest retards of all, because the grifters are like, whoa, dude, this is crazy. We can't do this. We can't go there. Candace, you're on your own, honey. Sorry, this one's over. We lost. Cut your losses and move on. But Ian Carroll's like, no, Candace, I'm going down with the ship with her. It's bad for her when Tucker is changing, because Tucker's crazy. Tucker's crazy. We know this. But they all got to try to stay close to, they know they're going to lose all their power if they go down with this, because Candace, it's so obvious. And at this point, Candace Owens is still going to have people following her, right? She's got the money to keep promoting herself. She's got some diehard fans. Oh my God. I cannot even begin to tell you guys how many crazy people showed up in my comments the last few days as I exposed Candace, especially over the video coming out over the Tyler Robinson killer. I mean, him killing Charlie Kirk. People freaked out about that one. I got all kinds of comments. You're crazy. You believe that that's AI stuff. Oh, the Candace crowd. They're not very smart. It's very sad. It's very sad that they've been so duped. And here's the tell. All the other grifters who are trying to keep it going are running away. And so now what Candace is doing, she's just creating a bigger, more deep-seated bubble for herself that she's just going to live in forever. But her outward influence is going bye-bye. She is not going to be spreading anymore. And you know, and it's not like Tucker's better. Tucker's still crazy. Listen to Tucker here. He's still nuts.
Economy is part of that. So like the richest people are always going to have the most influence. So who does your economic system reward? Who gets richest? And I just noticed, with some exceptions, but very few, the people who get the richest in our society are people who didn't create anything at all. They're usually rent seekers or just parasites on other people's activity. And they certainly haven't done anything demonstrable to improve the civilization.
This is commie talk. This is pure on communist, democratic, socialist talk. He is on the other side of things now. Say that the richest people in America haven't created anything. What about Elon Musk? I mean, this is insane, but you know, he's going full commie. He's going full commie.
So that's just an inherent flaw. And we can't get better until we fix that. Can't live in a country where Bill Ackman, who makes billions betting against productive companies, short selling, that guy makes billions of dollars. It's not even against Bill Ackman, but like someone with a kind of mediocre intelligence, no creativity.
This is all commie speak. This is it. This is crazy stuff. Okay. Just he's gone all in. I don't even like Ackman. I think short selling is an atrocious thing you can do, but there is legal short selling. And if you take advantage of the system, you know, you did it. You know, I don't think you should cheat. I don't think you should do things that are illegal. I don't even think you should do things that are unethical. But if it's legal, it's like Trump said when Hillary Clinton's like, you don't pay taxes. He's like, that's because I'm smart. He uses the system. It's the system that they created. Trump was just honest about it. Let's change the system. But Tucker is saying that we don't have, like, capitalism has failed. That's what he's calling out right now. So again, this is exactly who he's showing his true colors. Oh, I was a Republican my whole life. Nope. He was a registered Democrat. He's always been subversive. And anyways, just coming out more and more. And he's not, you know, so he's exactly who he thought he was. But he is turning on Candace. That's what's interesting. What's also interesting is we're getting more and more people coming out. New additions to the Grifter Report, folks. As Trump announced going into the election fraud, Patrick Byrne has now come out. And, you know, I've had my eye on Patrick for a while now because he's been running a pretty good little scheme for himself. And once he started getting really close to Emerald Robinson and that whole crew of grifters, it really made my radar go, what? Well, now I think it's pretty obvious Patrick Byrne is not a good guy. He's already trying to be subversive and undercut Trump's messaging tomorrow. Says it's rumored that within the president's circle, he's being told that, yes, Smartmatic rigged Venezuela's elections. There's no proof they made into Sequoia and Dominion technology. And he keeps trying to hammer this one way of rigging home. Brian Cates, who I do trust, calls him out. You're doing exactly what I thought you were going to do. You're trying to get ahead of it. Trying to claim again Trump's own staff circle is hiding the real evidence from him. What have I told you? This is the Bannon way of doing things. Because you cannot come out against Trump. The smart grifters do it this way. They don't go directly at Trump. They say it's always his people are bad. That's what they do. Said you tried to give Tulsi and DNI's office your fake shit and they didn't fall for it. It's true. The entire reason you had that stupid book run went to Emerald Robinson to launch that dumb narrative last January. Oh noes, Tulsi is helping to hide the real evidence from Trump. They spotted your fake shit long ago. Just go away already. Yeah. Emerald Robinson is one of the bad ones. I've called her out before. She's just not important enough to deal with very often. But I'm glad Brian's calling out Patrick Byrne. He says, I don't believe you understand the point I'm making. When Trump shows you how they rigged and stole the 2020 election from him, Byrne is prepping a narrative that allows him to loudly call bullshit and claim that's not how they did it. See, and that's why there's multiple psyops all the time. Sometimes the psyops are direct. No, they didn't do it. It's a lie. Sometimes they're subversive. Well, they did it, but they did it differently. And then it throws you off track and you try to prove something that's unprovable. Byrne is setting up a competing narrative to the narrative that Trump Tulsi, Pulte, Blanche, Radcliffe, Patel will present on Thursday night. You notice he listed all of them. All these people are signing off on one way it's being done. And Patrick Byrne and Emerald Robinson and them are going to try to convince you it's different. The 6 people listed above are going to tell you one narrative about how the bad guys stole the 2020 election. Byrne and a whole lot of former CIA agents and assets, and former FBI agents and assets, and former US UK intel agents, officials, assets will furiously launch a very different competing narrative. Remember, like Kyle Seraphin on Alex Jones? Kyle Serafin's here tonight to tell me that Kash Patel is going to be fired tonight, the same night as Pam Bondi. Just watch. That was April 2nd. Kash Patel. Not fired 3 months later. Going to insist Trump's either having a real election fraud evidence kept from him or he's part of a cover-up. You should have a far better grasp now of what I'm actually saying. Yeah, that's what they do. In fact, this happens with me with Candace Owens. When I show the evidence and the experts all saying that with the ammo used, a 30-06 would definitely shoot that bullet and get lodged in the body. It's designed for it. We saw the data. 30-06, 15% of the time do not have an exit wound. We saw the data. And I showed it, and I showed snipers and munitions experts who all said this is absolutely true. And guess what? I get nonstop in my comments, bro, you're retarded. You think a 30-06 would not exit? You are a retard. Experts tell me it always does. And I'm like, yeah, what kind of experts? Is it these kind of experts? The formers? That's what they use is their only way of being validated. I'm a former CIA officer. Okay, what's that even mean? You're current CIA? That's usually what it means. You're an asset, a liar? Yeah, maybe. Can you show me the data to back it up? No, trust me, bro. I'm from the CIA. I'm from the FBI. I am an FBI agent. Thank you, Johnny Utah. That's what they do. And I get people all the time tell me this stuff. But data, you gotta, you gotta support it with data. And the Burns and them of the world. Now, Tomi Lahren, she makes her first appearance here as she came out today. And this tells me Democrats are about to lose the midterms and they are panicking. It's time to unleash more assets as more people are coming out of the woodwork. Look at this. Real question. Tomi Lahren, famous Fox News star, big conservative chick who probably would never have gotten to where she was if she wasn't smoking hot. Sorry, it's true. Real question. I don't care who it pisses off. Why should we vote for Republicans in November? Oh, okay, Nick Fuentes. We're doing this now. Mass deportations aren't happening. Deportations are at the highest level in history. Most of us are single issue voters on immigration. DHS under Mark Williams decided they would rather appease CNN and MSNBC. Not true, even at all. Republicans won't pass Save America. Well, mostly true. The Senate won't. They won't support the mass deportation we voted for. Untrue. It's all funded and happening. They haven't done jack shit outside of tax cut extension. So why? Why push Maine to vote for Susan Collins? How about the other people are commies? Because at least she's not an admitted communist. In the end, though, what's really the difference? Vote Republican, get Democrat policy anyways. Really? The border's closed, bitch. I'm sorry. I had to say it. I got mad. These people make me mad. Border's closed. Deportations are happening. Immigration is at the lowest level it's been in 50 years. We haven't seen since the 1950s a year where there was more deportations than importations. We haven't seen that since the 50s. These people are lying like crazy. No difference. Anytime somebody says there's no difference, they're a total fraud. Tomi Lahren, bye-bye. Bye-bye, loser. But she's not to be outdone. We got Mark Mitchell of the Rasmussen Reports. He makes his first appearance. His polls, semi-decent, at least sometimes. But he's going full in against what's happening now. Now, this guy's interesting. He doesn't always show up. He sometimes disappears for a long time. But now that his poll has Trump at 49%, now that the polls are showing that the Republicans would win the midterms if held today, he's coming out to trash the Republicans for not being Republican enough. As he says, the Lindsey Graham is pure MAGA op is worse than Kamal's brat summer. Really? Why? Why does the Lindsey Graham was good for MAGA overall thing? Why is that bad for us? Because he did vote for most things. He was the guy who helped get pushed through the One Big Beautiful Bill. I don't even like Lindsey Graham. I think he was kind of on a personal level, kind of a scumbag. But these people, they want to come across as if they're giving you gold. By the way, this guy's a pollster. He knows what he's saying is untrue. He's out there touting how Trump's losing the youth completely. Guess what? The youth always vote left. That's been the trend of our entire history, at least modern history. He just lies. And some people excuse it. Oh, they're just blackpilled. No, sorry. When you got the data and you're an independent data, you don't have that option. And also timing tells us everything. It's been nonstop good numbers for the Republicans and Trump the last few weeks. And now they're trying to tell us we're not seeing what we're seeing. Here's another one from yesterday or 2 days ago. We don't know anywhere near enough about the death of Doge. Yes, we do. They came out and said Doge was dispersed into other agencies. They were absorbed. We know exactly what happened, Mark. You're lying. A large majority of Americans support fiscal responsibility. They still do. This flies in the face of everything they say about declining democracies and with politicians who let us down. Why do this? Why constantly just throw stuff out there? And it's been nonstop, folks. It's been nonstop. I'll show you. By the way, oh, yeah, he's a Bannonite. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this up at all. Let's acknowledge it was highly unlikely Republicans would do anything meaningful to increase wages. What are you talking about, Mark? We're deporting. We've cut taxes. We've cut regulations. Those are significant ways to raise wages. Wages are up 3.5% in the last year, Mark. Why don't you tell us the truth, Mark? Why do I have to do it? Oh, because you're a grifter and you're controlled by the Bannon network. Therefore, to address Biden's affordability crisis, they need to lower prices, not inflation. What do you think lowering inflation leads to, retard? Ugh. I hate these people. I hate these people. Here's this one. As long as Koch holdouts and libertarians continue to dominate conservative economic think tankery, Republicans will get spanked by socialist-sounding candidates among workers and under 40 vote. We're not. It's the educated youth who are voting commie, dummy. This is the guy who leads Rasmussen right now. Honest pollster. Guys, we are, it's getting worse. I call out this stuff. I do this report almost daily because there's more and more, we get more exposure all the time. The more Trump wins, the more stuff comes out, the more they reveal themselves. They get to the point where they realize if we don't say something, this could turn bad for us. And so what happens? The people who we thought were on our side ditch us. Tucker, Candace, they ditched a long time ago. It was obvious. Alex Jones, he ditched. But then you get the actual people who claim to be conservatives in conservative posts. These are party members. They're not podcasters. You get the pollsters who are supposed to be trusted by the right. Rich Barris and Barnes came out a long time ago. Oh, Mitchell's best friends with those guys. Oh, interesting. See, this is how the Bannon network works. Bannon, Fox News, most of them hate him. There's a few good eggs, Jesse Waters, Greg Gutfeld. There's not many of them. And to get in these positions of influence, very few did it organically. That's all I'll say. Very few. And they're revealing themselves to us more and more on a daily basis. And this is why you got to do what I do. Somebody has to call it out. And I know I'm not the only one, but it's also why I'm not going to stop. The good news is even though if you liked him, if you liked Tommy, if you liked Tucker or Candace at one point, Well, that sucks. But the good news is, by them revealing themselves, it tells you they're losing. Because they wanted to subvert for a very long time. So good things are coming, folks. Good things are coming. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Please hit that like and subscribe. Let me get into the chat. Spend a little time in the chat for a bit here. Let's see here. Saw some things. Oh, see, we're getting it all again. We're getting the 30-06ers. That would never happen because my experience tells me that I know everything. Guys, come on. I've shown the data. I've shown the actual people, the munitions experts, the snipers who all say exactly how Charlie happened with a 30-06. It's completely possible. So I'm not playing the game. Anybody who's like, I shot 30-06 and that would never happen. Dude, that's the stupidest thing you could ever say. You like, just because you've shot one doesn't mean you know every instance of every time it would work ever. I'm sorry. Sean Ryan's a total shill, Beef Rockin' More. Total. Molly Cruel, the $5 super chat, says the grifters are wondering why on day one Trump didn't just flip the economy switch that's right next to the big red nuke blaster button on his desk. That is, well, they're not. They actually know the truth. But what they are doing is they want you to believe that that could have happened. And so they dupe the dumb people into thinking that is how it works. That's how it really works, actually. That's how it really works. Yeah, but New Life, I don't care if others disagree. I've seen the actual data. Yeah, so you can't trust Sean Ryan at all. I've totally done it. So you guys, listen, again, experts need to provide data. Okay. Sabatic says I shot a 30-06 and the bullet got stuck in a water bottle. There you go. That's all you need to know. Let's see here. Adam Schiff said you can't trust the Supreme Court. Of course he say that. He wants to defraud anything that's been supporting America, you know. Pete Sunnyside, I liked Mark Mitchell. His show was good. He said 6 to 9 months ago he's trying to get Trump to work on XYZ. Was I gullible? Ringing the alarm bell on rhinos? I don't know what to think. Pete, you weren't gullible. Here's the deal. There are so many psyops. And so I liked Mark Mitchell too. I liked Mark. I liked Rich Barris. I liked Steve Bannon at one point. I liked Tucker at one point. It's not our fault if they hadn't fully shown themselves or we hadn't seen everything yet. It's not your fault if you're only working with the information you have. You're only gullible if you continue to believe them after they reveal themselves, after the data and the evidence points to the opposite. Okay. That's when you're gullible. And I don't think, just for the fact, we all fall for psyops sometimes. It's impossible not to. Just like the people in here who think a 30-06 would never get stuck, ever. No situation in any way, ever, shape, or form could ever do something different than what it would usually do. Those people are gullible. They've bought a lie. And it sucks, but a lot of people get bought in, you know? Let's see here. Ben Shapiro did a video on it. On what? On Candace? I'm not the biggest Ben Shapiro fan, but I will watch him call out Candace. So, dun, dun, dun. DJ says, "Give me the 411 on Fishback." Listen, I don't have all the details, man. Go on X and search Fishback, and you'll find a bunch of stuff. I don't have time to get into it today. I'm sorry. Mark Mitchell was a doofus even when I believed him. I'll give you that. He's a nerd. He's a total nerd. John Roberts, Vance is a traitor, reveal coming soon, arrest incoming. Dude, there's no way. I'm sorry. There's just no way. I'm sorry. If Vance was a traitor, Trump would not be letting him into all these meetings. He wouldn't be letting him be in charge of the fraud. It just, come on, man. At some point, common sense has got to overrule whatever super secret information you have. All right, later, Devin. We won't miss you. In fact, Devin, because you're leaving, I'm going to make sure you can't come back. Because there you go. There you go. I love it. Bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. But now you won't be able to chat again if that's going to be your loser think. I love when I bring data, I bring receipts, and people can't handle it. And they're like, no, don't ever challenge my narrative. No. You know, all I ask for, if you have a disagreement with me, I say, bring receipts. You know what's not a receipt? Somebody told me this. That's not a receipt. You know what is also not a receipt? Well, I did it and it didn't happen. That's not a receipt. That's a personal experience. You know, often personal experiences lie to you, do something different. Come on. Like, you have to understand at some point there's intellectual honesty and then there's retardation. And if, you know, and what I mean by retardation means you're not able to critical think. You're an emotional thinker and you think you're smart. It's sad. And honestly, to be honest with you, it's probably not your fault. You were raised to be an emotional thinker. You were raised to not think for yourself. You were in the public education system and told, do not, don't believe anything but what we tell you. So you found somebody you trusted, maybe it's Candace Owens, and you trust her no matter what. And you're like, well, my experience backs it up because I shot a 38-6 three times. And all 3 times it went right through it, just like boom. And because of that, I know it can never, ever, 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 ever do what it did to Charlie. So you're a grifter. Okay, dude. Okay. Except I, not knowing anything about 30-06, because I never shot one, not ever being in the military, you know what I did? I researched. And in my research, I found that, yeah, in the military, they say 15% of the time a 30-06 bullet can get lodged. Oh yeah, and then on top of that, he used a soft bullet. So guys, that's meant to be lodged in and not exit. So I found data, I found research because I understood something. I don't know. So I went and found out. I didn't just say, well, I did this thing one time, so that means it's always true. No, that makes you retarded. Sorry. Sorry it hurts, but you know what? I'm going to tell you the truth because it'll only help to wake you up. It'll only help to wake you up, and we got to do it. We got to speak truth and, and I can't care about your feelings. I'm sorry. I can't, because truth matters more. So, yeah, see, your whole life is a lie, I just wrote. Yeah, data doesn't lie because then the person behind the data could be corrupt. Okay, fine. Play that game. I'm talking about the actual military data. Do you think the military... Okay, here's this person's whole perspective on this. The military years ago conspired to ruin the data on 30-06 rounds and shots. They conspired to rig that data so that when Charlie Kirk died years from now, we could back it up. That is their conspiracy. That's what they believe. Oh yeah. Tell me how you're smart. Come on. Are you serious right now? People are so stupid, man. It's sad. I'm glad most of you aren't stupid. In fact, 99% of you watching are not stupid. 99% of you. But that 1% who likes to come out and show their face, I'd be embarrassed to show my face if I were you guys. Come on. Are you serious right now? Come on. And listen, if you don't like what I'm saying, go live in your bubble. Go watch Candace. Go watch Candace, okay? God, Lord. Jeez Louise, man. Oh, these people, they drive me crazy. Violence says old ammo, improperly stored ammo, factory defect, reloaded rounds, gun show, reloaded ammos, defect in the barrel, soft nose, it never stays on target. Exactly. There's so many ways around. I mean, it's just crazy. Drop the ego. Is it ego to say something stupid? I don't think so. I'm sorry. But out of 1,030 people watching right now, you're the one person who's mad because I disagreed with you. Sorry. Everybody who researches finds the same thing. Everybody else is like, I watched a podcast and the guy said. That's not, like I said, anybody who disagrees with me, it's welcome. But there's arguments I will welcome and there's arguments I shut down. The arguments I shut down are arguments based on your feelings or your perspective, because those don't mean anything to me. The arguments I entertain are arguments with real data. Real data. That I'll entertain that all day. And guess what? Every single person who's been here for 3.5 years knows that about me, because they've seen me change my mind. They've seen me be open to new data, but I don't play games. Okay. I don't have time for it. And neither do we. We're trying to win a war here, an information war. And because that's where I find my place in the battlefield is in the information war. I don't entertain retarded info. I just don't. That's what I do. That's what I'm an expert at is research and breaking through narratives. And so that's what I'm going to do. And you know what? I'm not a military expert. There's lots of things I'm not an expert at. And that's why I don't do those things. Okay. Anyways, you guys are the best. I love it. I'm seeing all these comments. There's so many good ones. You guys are the best. I see so many people in here I appreciate and love. You guys are just excellent, amazing people. And for all the haters, you know what? God bless you. I don't have anything personally against you. I just don't watch my show. You don't need to be here. If you don't like how I do things, leave. Okay. I'm just going to keep doing what I do. I'm going to keep being me. I'm going to grow as I grow. And the best parts of me will shine and the worst parts of me will get corrected over time. And I'll just keep growing. But listen, guys, I won't be there tomorrow. I won't be out there tomorrow at noon. I will be on tomorrow night. I plan to stream Trump's speech and hopefully get some awesome stuff out of it. I'm excited. But anyways, pray for me, pray for safety. I want to come back. So I'm back next week on my regular schedule. But you guys are the best. Thanks to everybody who supports the channel, all the members, all the people who super chat. You guys are amazing. Everybody who likes, subscribes, watches, the absolute best. I'm looking forward to hanging out with my buddies, having some rest, and hopefully come back better than ever. And retards need love too. Ron, that's awesome. Niners are going to the Super Bowl. If we're healthy this year, we're the best team in the league. Sorry, it's true. New Life says, I'm not a hater. We don't agree on everything. And that's totally fine. New Life, I didn't call you a hater. I said that there was other people that were, getting hate because they were mad. DJ says, I'm pretty fair. I push back. He's always respectful as long as framing's correct. And that's what I try to do. I don't like I don't play games. I just don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. And thank you, Dan. I appreciate you. And Dan, I'm hoping things get better for you too, man. I would just tell you that, I know things are tough. I can tell by what you're going through, brother. But, I would say I would encourage you to start reframing. Start focusing on what you can control and making it better a little bit at a time. And just know that you're always more powerful than you think you are. All right. And it's a lie to think that you're powerless. It really is. But love you, man. I hope you do well. Bless you guys. Members, I'll be around in the Discord. You guys have an awesome night, and I will see you all tomorrow night for Trump's speech. God bless y'all. Have a great day. Oh, let's pray. We got to pray. Prayers needed. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless everybody here watching. I pray a blessing over each and every one of them, Lord, even the ones that don't like me. Pray you bless them, Lord. Help them feel your love and open their minds, and open mine too for wherever it's closed. And Father, we pray protection over our president, pray wisdom and discernment and courage for him in every situation. Bless him, Lord. Bless everybody working with him, and bless our nation for more peace, prosperity, and justice than we've ever seen before, that we can leave a better country to our kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Love you guys. God bless you, and I'll see you soon. Take care.
Headlines screaming like a siren at night. Red and blue shouting, nobody's right. Smoke Walking the streets, truth under attack. Everybody's loud, nobody's got facts. Feeds keep scrolling, nerves stay tight.